Welcome, everyone, to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
And with us here, we've got with us co-host, the magnificent Son X.
Next time, baby. Ready to roll.
Where's the cheers for Son X?
Is that what you're looking for, Grumpy? A little bit of a cheer?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Thank you, audience.
If you are new to the show, if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is a twice a week all sports podcast that takes place every single Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're new to the channel, we ask you to do a few things. If you like the content we put out, make sure you subscribe on YouTube so you don't miss out on any of the further talk show that we've got going on in the live streams that we do. And also like the video. Apparently, if you like the video, it helps the algorithm. And also, Reddit lets Grumpy, myself, and SunX know that you like what we're doing and you like the content that we put out. As I mentioned, it is an all sports podcast. We talk anything and everything sports on this show. We talk NFL, we talk MLB, we talk NHL, we talk NBA, we talk college athletics, we talk European football, we talk anything and everything sports on that show. On this show, for this week, we've got quite a few big news stories. We had quite a few big matchups in the college football landscape that we're going to go ahead and talk about. Some big matchups, some games that went right down to the wire, some disappointments, for some, the exhilaration of wins for others. We're also going to go ahead and talk a little bit about we're going to talk about the Dolphins. Dolphins are flying high. We're going to talk about that. Tua Tagovailoa. Tua for MVP seems to be gaining more and more traction.
Not again.
Tua for MVP continues to gain more and more traction, making its way to the NFL on CBS, posing the question, should he be the MVP? We're going to talk about, some potential comebacks. We're going to talk about, some disappointing play this week as well. We're also going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the MLB playoffs. Who doesn't love talking about that? And just some bad calls all the way around. So for today's episode, we got a good mix of everything, I feel like. Right?
I was going to mention as well, TJ, another thing, injuries in the NFL. A lot of injuries today. A lot of big key players got hurt. Cost some teams.
A lot of wideouts.
Yep. Quarterbacks too.
Wide receivers never get hurt. Wide receivers never get hurt.
Who got injured?
Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams got banged up for a play. Who was it? Garrett Wilson also got injured. He had to leave for a little bit, came back in the game. Same with DK Metcalf.
He came back
for a little bit. No, a lot of the players came back, but you had Jimmy Garoppolo had to be sent to the emergency room.
He got sent to the hospital. Did he fracture his back, or did he
he looked like a soft bitch?
He went down like a certain quarterback who also falls down and gets hurt a lot, and he had to be whisked off to the hospital with a little back injury. Back injury.
What
back
quarterback
injury?
Was it a back injury that he was holding his head for and couldn't stand up straight for?
No, he was actually holding his back, stretching. He's always hurt too. He's another guy always hurt. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Soft. And then you had Justin Fields went out with a hand injury.
He dislocated something.
Okay, that's why he had it under a towel. Makes sense.
Yeah.
He didn't return. I think it's on his throwing hand too.
And we have Anthony Richardson, who's seriously considering having season-ending shoulder surgery.
Really?
I just, you know what? What does it tell you, right? Don't run your quarterbacks.
Yep.
Don't have running quarterbacks. You're going to get hurt.
And then I guess have the best offensive line in the world and the planet when you have Jimmy Garoppolo back there.
I'm trying to pull up here the hit. Was it like a malicious looking hit?
No. He just fell down to the ground.
No, yeah, it honestly looked like he fell. It looked like an old man injury. Like, some old people, like, they'll fall down and then boom, they'll just be done. Oh, that's it.
Here it is. Let's take a look here, Jimmy G.
Jim, we saw Jimmy Garoppolo go into the locker room early after being banged up on that final drive. I was told it is a back injury. He is doubtful to return. So you can expect to see Brian Hoyer out here for the start of this third quarter.
Wow. Okay, Tracy. Wow. We saw Hoyer warming up. Again.
Was that it?
That's it.
I've got to see. What? He didn't even get tackled to the ground.
Right. Yes.
That's my
correct.
point.
Did he? Maybe he broke a rib.
No,
he's
it was a
always
back
hurt.
injury.
He's always hurt. Always hurt. Always hurt.
Remember, he didn't even pass the medical test when he first went to the Raiders?
That was because of some other ailment. He's always.
That's what I'm saying. Remember, he didn't even pass the medical test when he first went to the Raiders.
He's a walking medical chart.
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ. He barely got tapped.
He didn't even get tackled. The guy pulled up, he falls down.
No, I said he barely got tapped.
It looks like, honestly, you know what it looks like? An old man who fell down to the ground and could have broken his hip. That's what it looks like.
No, it looks like his lower back or oblique. Speaking of obliques, Christian McCaffrey left today's game with an oblique injury.
Yep. And they said also Justin Jefferson is out for a minimum of 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, or it could be more. And he's debating whether he's going to come back this season due to if the team's in position to make playoffs or not.
Nothing says I really like to fight hard for the team. Like, I might come back, but probably not.
Well, when you have a trash quarterback like Kirk Cousins who won't waive his no trade clause, yeah, I wouldn't want to come back either.
Well, let's talk about that. Right today, Christian McCaffrey goes out. I want to kind of go team by team.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey goes out with an oblique injury. The 49ers lost to the Browns. The freaking Browns.
Okay.
The Browns with backup quarterback PJ Walker in the game. This is not even like we're talking. This was third string quarterback because it was who was the backup who was playing there 2 weeks ago? Peoples or something like that?
No.
Dorian Thompson?
Yes.
Dorian Thompson. That's right. Dorian Thompson was the backup. So PJ Walker's the third string guy. The Browns with a third string quarterback beat the freaking 49ers.
What does that tell you about Brock Purdy?
He's a game manager guy. You
He can't do it without his best players around.
Yeah.
I think the 49ers did not come with the right mindset today. I thought across the board they didn't play the way they should.
Okay. Did you see the fight that Deebo Samuel started pregame?
Yes.
I think that fires up the opposition. You come in there and you start getting in the face of the other team, doing whatever silly shit he was doing. I think I sent you the thing.
I got it. Give me a sec.
And I do want to mention another player who left the game today was Ryan Tannehill, another quarterback.
Okay, gotcha. We'll talk about that here in a second, but let's finish up here with the 49ers. So this is what you're talking about, right, Grump?
This is pregame.
Wait, this is
some stupid shit.
Juan Thornhill.
Hey, that's
just
us
moments
pregame.
ago.
That's us in here before our show.
Yeah.
Curry,
Hey, all the time. Jimmy, when you got a team that you should dominate, does that fire them up?
Hey, this is the worst thing that could happen.
There you go.
Don't poke the bear. Really, with San Francisco, the danger is, number one, they got to stay healthy. Number two, they don't want to peak too early. But the third thing is don't get bored. They're the best team in football. And now you start to push it and shove. That just gives San Francisco some incentive to go out there and play hard against the team that they should beat.
It was the exact opposite there, Jimmy Johnson.
Well, no, I think what he's trying to say, San Francisco giving them
a reason to come out and play.
No, the Browns gave San Francisco a reason not to be bored and to fight hard today. I think it's the exact opposite. They didn't look focused at all, the 49ers.
Well, here's the other thing. You're pissing off a team, and guess what? It's their home turf, too.
You like how Trent Williams comes in there, he slams that guy, and then everything just stops. Boom!
I'm so glad Deebo Samuel got hurt today.
I didn't realize he leveled that dude.
Dude, yeah, Trent, you see how everybody went from we're ready to fight and start a brawl?
I don't know if it was Trent Williams, but also an offensive lineman for 49ers went out today as well. Their left tackle.
Trent Williams is the left tackle.
Trent Williams. Yeah.
Oh, then he went out today.
Good.
He got rolled up.
I'm glad. The only thing I wish.
Hold on, Grumpy. What's wrong? What's wrong? They didn't do anything wrong here. They're defending their teammates.
Again, the showboat mentality, a wide receiver, no less, coming in, talking shit, waving freaking hands at people, whatever stupid shit he was doing, playing a fool. And then the other goof coming in, trying to push him around. I think the biggest issue for San Francisco was, maybe a little bit overconfident. West Coast teams traveling East Coast for the 1:00 games has historically been an issue around the league. It's hard to get that biological clock turn back. It's just really, really difficult.
It's like
And-
saying, hey, you're going to go ahead and play a game today at, was it like 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock in the morning.
And then, I mean, like you talk about game preparation. Usually you're getting there if like you're playing like an afternoon game at 1 o'clock, you're getting there probably 3 hours before. So in reality, it's like, oh man, I'm up at 7 instead of I'm up at 10 making my way to the stadium.
Or I have to be there by 7 in your
Yes.
regular time. And I mean, that's why the games in London are usually, or overseas, are so crappy, because it just throws the guy's biological clock off. It's like, that's what to me was distinct advantage last week when Jacksonville played Buffalo. Buffalo had so many mistakes in that game, just looked sloppy out there, where the Jacksonville Jaguars had stayed over in London for 2 weeks. They played crappy the week before, but then they looked pretty good last week because their bodies were acclimated, right?
And this week they looked
No, they look good this
right.
week coming back home. Jacksonville,
they played okay.
they dominated Indianapolis.
Yeah. Also, Indianapolis didn't have Anthony Richardson in as well.
But they did
was
have
a
Gardner
decent
Minshew.
Starting quarterback.
The
Okay.
trounced-
I like Gardner Minshew, Minshew mania. You know that, but not the same as having Anthony Richardson in. I'm sorry.
Minshew
Guy
had
with the shoulder.
Yeah. I mean, he is hurt, but I'm just saying, I mean, you're playing a game where they don't have their starting quarterback in. So makes a difference.
See, I didn't know Trent Williams got injured. There was a lot of injuries then today.
And
Yeah,
they,
he got rolled up on. I don't know if he came back in the game or not, but he definitely got rolled up on and had to come out for a little while.
the announcer, doing what announcers do, mentioned how, I don't know how many times today, Brock Purdy has never lost this regular season start. He hasn't thrown an interception all year.
He did
And
both today.
And they have no injuries. Well, hey, triple threat. They all went down.
Here's one you'll enjoy.
Marks, that's one area where Minshew's been good. He's played almost 200 snaps this year. He's yet to throw a pick.
Uh-oh.
Boy, got a little help there from Devin Lloyd. 2nd and 10. He steps up in the pocket. And here it is. It is picked. Oh.
Right after he says it. Do you think that has to do with the NFL scripting?
I think, you know what? The more and more I see shit like this, the more and more I think there is some sort of broad script. I saw a clip. I shit you not. I didn't include it because I'm like, maybe I'm being a little too conspiratorial at this point. It was for Thursday night's game. It was like 3rd and 10, and Patrick Mahomes was running for a first down. And the guy for the Denver Broncos was going to hit him, the safety, but then said, I'm going to redirect from my path from hitting Patrick Mahomes to engage with the blocker and allow Mahomes to skirt for the first down. I'm like, wow, that's kind of odd. I'm not sure if there's a script, but there's been a lot of really weird and coincidental things that happen.
I don't think that it was scripted. It's just announcer 101, right?
I think there's a lot of shit that's scripted when it comes down to the spreads. Hey, you're winning by this many points. Do not score a touchdown here because of this money line. I firmly believe with the gambling that's involved in sports, the league is rigging shit. I just have that odd feeling.
Okay.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm not going that far.
I have that odd feeling. You see more and more stories about it, how coincidental things are. Like, hey, all they need to do is go ahead and score this many points in order to beat the spread, and they go for a 2-point conversion up 17 points. You're like, why the fuck would you be doing that?
Or
Like, there's a lot of weird shit.
They stop at the 1 yard line as opposed to scoring an easy touchdown.
They do that sometimes. I don't know. There's a lot of that.
Like
weird...
there was one with Mahomes where like if he had a certain amount of rushing yards, like he could have he would have won the bet, and he ran back like 13 or 14 yards and kneeled the ball.
Now you were talking. Go ahead.
I just have a question. I know it's going to be a little bit off what we're talking about now. You know what else? Something that's a pet peeve of mine.
What was that, Grumpy?
All the idiots in the league who make a play defensively and they all run to the far end zone to be on the camera. Do they think that there's only one camera? Are the football players so dumb that they think there's only one camera in the whole stadium and it's at the end zone?
I think they enjoy getting to run all over the place and be excited the entire time while they run. I think it's what it's for.
It's like I think of it as like, you know how soccer players, they'll take their shirt off and run around the field, or like they'll do like a certain celebration, like they're like a plane and run around the field. It's kind of the same thing for them in the NFL. they do that, and then they do their additional celebration in front of the camera. It's like soccer players usually like suck their thumb, run around the field, stuff like that. Same thing.
Now, speaking of this Raiders game, there was a person who got hit quite hard.
Devontae Adams. Holy crap. I know exactly what you're about to play.
Very rarely do you see a really hard hit that is textbook clean and tackling. And this looks like it here from Jabril Peppers.
Injuries. 2nd and 3.
Oh, balls up in the air.
Oh.
And it's intercepted off the deflection.
He's feeling it after that one.
To come up with it after the Peppers pop.
He's been banged up for a while now, Devontae Adams.
Well, remember, he got injured. What did he have? Didn't he have a concussion like a couple weeks ago and had to go out?
Shoulder.
Oh, it was a shoulder injury? Okay. Well, he was out with that, and then he ends up getting lit up 2 weeks later.
And he did nothing today. Nothing. How do I know? He's on my fantasy team.
Oh, grumpy.
Still not enough to keep me from achieving victory, though.
You know, around the league, wide receivers are upset about getting pushed around and getting hammered by these safeties. And there was one wide receiver who determined to strike back.
They've been working with DK Metcalf. He accumulates way too many penalties out of frustration.
What's this guy doing? Doing nothing to him. I don't even know why he's angry with him, honestly.
It's odd. Like DK Metcalf got lit up. This obviously is completely unrelated, but like DK Metcalf was upset, I guess, and frustrated. He wasn't getting the ball enough. And then this is well after the play. And I mean, like he gets flagged for 15 yards on sportsmanlike. It's just stupid.
It is, though.
Unnecessary roughness.
He didn't like it because he's not getting the ball. So
well,
now
you know what it looked like? He said, you know what? That's fine. You don't want to give me the ball? I'm going to kill our drive. Let's do it.
I'm going to make us throw the ball this next play. I'll take a
force you to throw it to me. Otherwise, we'll just continue to get 15-yard penalties. That's fine.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. If the whistle wasn't blown, I don't give a shit. That's not unnecessary roughness.
Okay.
Unless the whistle's blown, dude, be ready to fucking play. This is all these safeties, these corners.
Over. The play was over.
Of the league.
The play was over.
I don't give a shit. Unless the whistle's blown, I can't see if the whistle's blown here or not, and I don't remember. But if the whistle wasn't blown, man, play on. Let him hammer him.
You know, I know we'll talk about the Jets and the Eagles later. I don't know, TJ, if you saw the penalty for, blindside block on a defenseless defender. The Jets did that, and they're just so dumb. They were so close, and they still won the game. But a guy was, just running down, play was behind him, and he just lit him up. Whatever Jet offensive wide receiver was or whatever, just lit this guy up for the Eagles. I'm like, oh, that's a penalty. And I think
the Eagles. You mean the Eagles wide receiver, Grump? Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, but I think I think it was a Jets guy hit an Eagle. A Jets offensive player hit an Eagle defensive player.
Okay, well, we're just going to watch this play because this is what's tagged in the most for hitting a defenseless receiver. I guess not. Okay, I'll try to find it, Grump.
It wasn't a receiver. He was a defensive player going like the tackle that was behind him. The play, I think Garrett Wilson was running the ball down the field. It was inside the red zone, and he was kind of just like trailing. He wasn't going to make a play, and he get lit up by a Jet guy, just lit up.
This is probably what we're talking about here.
This might be it.
Coming out to play.
Yeah, this is it. That's the one right here. Here it is. Kind of unnecessary.
Jump on the edge. There goes Brandon Graham.
Free play, as we see. And old Zach Wilson was okay today. Yep.
That's a really charming soft call. That's a really charming soft call.
Keep your head up. Keep your head up.
They
don't come running across the train tracks.
He didn't hit him. He stopped running. He just plopped himself in front. That's a bullshit call.
That's bullshit.
That's been illegal since Warren Sapp hit an offensive lineman named Clifton for Green Bay back in the day.
Dude, he stopped running, and the guy just wasn't paying attention. Keep your fucking head up, kid. Boop. Keep your head up. Honestly, bring back crackback blocks. Oh, man.
Bring back the crackback.
He lays down there on the freaking field like he's been shot. You know what?
He actually went out. He went out as well. He didn't return after that. Blankenship?
Yeah, he got lit up, man. Knocked out. So knock him out.
Look at his ass.
Okay, it's in slow motion, first of all.
I'm just like, You
When
don't
watch the
dude,
full
you need to be.
speed-
You can't see. I'm gonna let you know something. When you're on the field, you can see with your peripherals if there's somebody in your way. It's not like you're running here like, oh shit, I'm not seeing that there's a guy lined right in front of me. What do you want Lazar to do? That's just like, I guess you can make the tackle if you want to. I can't try to block you. I can't do anything. I'm just going to go ahead and stand on the sidelines because I may inadvertently hit somebody who's staring at somebody and not paying attention to his surroundings.
All I'm saying is, when you see it in full speed, it looks much worse. That's all I'm saying. You showed it like quarter speed. Okay, it doesn't look that bad. Full speed, I was like, oh, geez, there's a penalty. As soon as it happened, I'm like, that's a penalty. And then the flags come out.
You go, Grumpy. This is full speed.
It wasn't from this angle either that it was initially shown.
That's not that bad.
That's okay. Again, here it is, the super slow-mo.
Boom.
The initial camera angle was him down the field.
Look at this. He's barely even moving, Grumpy. He's moving like in slow motion. I don't know what you want me to tell you. That's one where I'm thinking to myself, okay, you just don't want the guys to be able to do anything. Oh, look at this guy. Like he was going to go and hit him or something after that.
You just want to have a league of Jimmy Garoppolos, I guess.
All I'm telling you is I knew that was going to be a penalty. I knew it was. And when you saw it live, full speed, it's like the flags are coming and then that's why I love the referees. Usually they don't know how to throw flag, but all of them seem to have flags, hats, shirts, jackets, just throwing everything at the guy. Did you see the play? They had one of those women officials, the fat, lazy one, who can't determine anything, did not call a touchdown for Kyron Williams, said that he fumbled the ball out of bounds. He was in the end zone by a yard, and she missed it. And they're like, I think it was a touchdown. I think, oh, no. She's going, oh, no, he fumbled it. And, of course, the instant replay overturns. They should have put her face up on the screen and said, you're a failure, honey. Terrible job.
I'm going to let you know something.
The Super Bowl.
I'm going to let you know something. The officials across the board this year have been hideous.
Because there's
no why? Nope. Because they're in the NFL's pocket, and they push the teams that they like. That's why.
I do agree with that. I think 100% they have favorites that they're instructed to freaking go ahead and.
We even talked about it today. Arizona's quarterback getting thrown down to the ground with no call by Aaron Donald. Guaranteed, if that's Mahomes or Josh Allen getting thrown down like that, absolutely, it's a roughing the passer call.
Well, Mahomes.
That's why I said Mahomes or Josh Allen. They'd absolutely call that. Both of them. They would. But see, that's the issue. Keep the game consistent. Don't call penalties for certain teams that you wouldn't call for others.
Now, here's the instant replay of that for Kyron Williams. It's the one good thing about instant replay. And this is the only time I think instant replay serves purpose is when there's an egregious miss on the field. They need to correct that.
30 seconds is all it should take. It wasn't even close. I'm like, that's a touchdown. What the hell is she saying?
You see him reaching the ball out over the line. Now, here's the thing. The reason they do that is because, remember, as long as it's ruled as a turnover on the field, it automatically gets reviewed. But here's the thing. If it's ruled a touchdown, it gets reviewed too.
She's looking right at it. She's looking right. She had a better view than I did. I knew he scored. She's looking right at it, and she's adamant. No. Like she had money on the game. It wasn't.
She did.
It's part of the script, Grumpy. They wanted
she did. She stopped at the FanDuel betting booth right before the game. Before she suited up.
The kiosk just before the play.
Yep.
I mean, this is where I see, okay, that looks like a touchdown to me. He looks like he's got ball. I mean, again, we're watching it from up here.
Said he fumbled the ball through the end zone. You show the replay. He's over, and they don't want to show her up, right? They don't want to show her up, her lack of whatever.
I'm going to say two things.
They don't ever want to show any official up. Newsflash, Grumpy. They protect all officials because they don't want to make it look like the people who officiate are moronic and imbecilic, and they are.
But they look at it, and it's a cross, and they're like, well, the question is, it looks like maybe a fumble, but was he over the pylon? I'm like, dude, he's a yard into the end zone.
The reason why this is affecting Grumpy so much is for one reason only.
To see if Kyron Williams.
He is Kyron Williams on his fantasy team.
That's why he's taking such great offense. It's nothing to do with the poor officiating.
Absolutely.
It was this lady almost robbed me of 6 fantasy points.
this piece of shit ref's trying to freaking rob me of fantasy points.
That's
Now,
a typical grumpy maneuver.
It absolutely is. I will admit I had a dog in the fight here. And
Oh, yes, you did.
Hey, let me tell you something. Incompetence cost me in the money league just a couple of weeks ago when Devontae Adams had a touchdown catch, and it should have been called touchdown, wasn't, and the Raiders were too dumb to challenge.
Grumpy,
Lose
grumpy,
by
grumpy.
4 points, and that's 6 points play there.
So obviously that happened there. Rams go ahead and beat the Cardinals. Now I wanted to pop this up here. This is what Saleh had to say. Robert Saleh had to go ahead and say about the Jets defense, and I think they bring up some good points here from this. We'll put this up, Grump.
Yeah, thought defense per the usual, outstanding.
Per the use.
Through these first 6 weeks, we've played a gauntlet of quarterbacks. And I know we haven't gotten all wins, but we've embarrassed all of them. And
oh, shit.
Really, really proud of the defense and its resolve. Brick and the staff had an excellent game plan. Down 3 corners, 4 of our 6 corners. I thought our D-line was good in terms of keeping that kid in the pocket. He's a handful. Hurts, their O-line, the receivers. Thought our guys battled all the way through. Proud of them. Yeah.
So I wanted to bring that up just to bring focus to this. And thank you. I can't remember. I think it was Drew who sent this to me. The Jets defense so far this year has faced Mahomes, Hurts, Josh Allen, etc. They faced some pretty good QBs early on.
I just like how he said, we've embarrassed all of them. We've played a gauntlet of quarterbacks. I know we haven't gotten all wins, but we've embarrassed all of them. Dude, shut your mouth. What are you, stupid? Again, go to the moron school of psyching an opponent up next time you play him, right? You got to play Josh Allen again. Who the Jets played this year? They played the Patriots. Oh, they embarrassed Mac Jones. That's a game they lost. Mac Jones embarrasses himself. He doesn't need your help.
They should have.
So far, they played Dak Prescott. They played Josh Allen. They played Mac Jones, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and then Jalen Hurts.
Okay, Russell Wilson. Come on. Maybe if it was circa 2013. Okay, Russell Wilson. This is 2023. Stop.
Dude, somebody said this. They were talking about Russell Wilson. They said, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I was like, there could be no way in hell he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, right?
Who?
Russell Wilson. I'm talking to you, Grumpy. You not hearing me?
Who?
Russell Wilson.
Who? No, absolutely not. He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's absolutely not.
I didn't think so either. But they were like, oh, yeah, he's going to be first ballot Hall of Famer, Russell Wilson.
Do you want to get some comments?
Sure, we could go ahead and get that.
Let me flip some up here.
Drew says, Philly loses, God bless America. Drew also adds, I found out why Brock Purdy is better than Tua today. Brock Purdy can still drive his team down the field without CMC and Deebo Samuel whilst being pressured in a clutch situation. Tua cannot do that.
Let's talk a little bit about Tua. We're going to get to comments X, but I've got a few things that I think tie everything together. Now,
I just want to say I can smell some Tua hatred coming.
No. We're going to be talking very positively about Tua, Grumpy.
Hey, all I know is that guy's putting up points for me in fantasy.
Here's the thing. Tua is on X's fantasy team, one of his money teams.
That's right. Team name is very good, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Tua has the number 1 passer rating in the NFL, most passing yards. He's got tied for the most passing touchdowns, most touchdowns per attempt, most yards per attempt, and most yards per completion. Grumpy, that's pretty good, wouldn't you say?
Pretty good.
Posing the question, MVP question mark?
All right. Now, here's the thing. I'm not like you, TJ, and X to a certain extent. I think the Dolphins are a good team. I do. They played one team that was good, and they got killed by them. They've beaten the Chargers, Brandon Staley beat them, a game that they should have lost. They beat the Giants. who were horrible. What are they? 1-4, 1-5 after tonight, probably. They beat the Panthers today, 0-6 now. They beat the Patriots 1-5.
Well, Grumpy, you don't have to worry about rattling everything off. I told you already before the show that I had this all laid out for us, my friend. Look at this.
Oh, well, I was going to say one thing too, that statistic didn't list yards after catch, because I'd be very curious to see if he's also number one in passing to receivers who have the most stats for yards after catch, the most yards.
When you look at who they've played no one. Absolutely no one.
Well, they played Buffalo and they lost that game.
They have not beaten anybody. Is that more accurate, Grumpy? They haven't beaten a damn soul. They beat the Chargers. The Chargers is their most impressive win they have this season.
Yeah, well, that was Brandon Staley choking the game away for his team as usual. But that being said, I mean, okay, I understand if you're a Dolphins fan, great. I just hold on. You haven't played. You're beating up on the dregs of the league, which you should do. And I think Miami's a good team. I do. The next 3 games are going to be tough for them, right? They play the Jets, who the head coach says he's embarrassed every quarterback. They play the 49ers.
They will lose to the 49ers
in overseas, and they play another good team. I looked at it earlier.
They play the Chiefs overseas as well.
The Chiefs. Okay, the Chiefs, the 49ers, and the Jets in the next 3 weeks. I think you'll find out more if they can beat a really good team in the next 3 weeks. They should beat the Jets, right? But the Jets defense is pretty good. San Francisco's a good team. Maybe they catch them at the right time because of the injuries. And Kansas City, no,
you guys, you're wrong. You're wrong on the schedule. I'll just go ahead and put this up here before we go ahead and start breaking down some of those wins and kind of looking more critically. They've got the Eagles on Sunday night.
I think they're going to come out fired up after losing today to the Jets.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles are not as good. We've talked about this. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to have as good as a season as last year. I don't think the Eagles are as good as a team as they were last year. It's really tough to replicate when you catch lightning in a bottle like that year after year.
Okay. I think that'll be a tough game for the Dolphins.
I think it will be too.
The Eagles.
Is it in Philadelphia?
I'll tell you.
Yes.
That's going to be a tough game for them.
Ooh, yeah.
You can tell by what name is on the bottom. That's the home team.
Sure. Yep.
And
then you've got
Patriots. That's an automatic win.
So you're playing another 1-win team. You'll be playing a team that will be 1-7 at that time period. Now your overseas game is against the Chiefs.
Yes.
Kind of sucks that that's a game that's going to be played overseas.
Yeah, because I mean, they're 9:30 in the morning. Who watches those games?
On top of that, players and teams usually don't play great just because we talked about earlier. It's tough to get acclimated to the extreme different change of time.
Which I think hurts the Dolphins more than the Chiefs. The
Chiefs are an hour further behind. How does it hurt the Dolphins more than the Chiefs?
Defense travels. The Chiefs are a better defensive team than Miami. The Chiefs are a better defensive team than Miami. They are. That's the one thing that's improved, that has impressed me about the Chiefs this year. I don't think Chiefs are that good. Certainly not offensively, but defensively, they've been really good this year.
That's going to be one of those throw up in the air, who the hell knows what's going to happen games, because it's one of those overseas early as shit in the morning games.
Let's just for shits and giggles, let's go through what we think the Dolphins' record is going to be at the end.
You know what? Hold on really quickly. You know what that actually is going to be? That's going to be whatever the league wants to script into that.
Oh, facts, because it's Kansas City playing.
This is Kansas City. I was about to say, if Taylor Swift makes it to that game, I'm going to say
automatic win.
Wins.
I think
if she's not going to the UK, it's going to be the Dolphins.
I think Kelsey and Swiftie are broken up. Her movie got released, so
no, they were caught. The lovely Paige said they were holding hands just recently, so they're not broken up. I guess.
Friday.
When the movie goes out of theaters, then they'll break up.
Friday.
Then they'll get back together. Come
your next
DVD
tour
release
for the video release. Okay.
They'll come back. They'll get back together for DVD release.
The DVD release says X.
Get the special Travis Kelce Taylor Swift duo copy where it'll be Kansas City Super Bowl win with Travis Kelce hoisting the Super Bowl trophy, the Lombardi, and then Taylor Swift at her concerts.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So let's just for shits and giggles just see what we think the Dolphins' record's going to be.
Sure.
Okay, they're 5-1 right now. I say they lose to the Eagles, so 5-2. Is that fair to say? Do we agree?
I think they might lose to the Eagles. Yeah, it's going to be an away game for them in Philly. I think I think Philly's really underwhelmed this season. They can't run the football, which hurts them a lot, I think.
Oh, Philadelphia?
Yeah.
You're mistaken on that.
They didn't run the football today.
Well, the Jets are a really good defense.
I know they are.
Miami is not a good. They've been running the ball well all season. The Jets are good. The Jets defense is good.
Okay. I think they probably lose to the Eagles.
Okay, that's fair. And you agree with that, X?
Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to come out to play.
Okay.
I think they're going to come out to play after laying an egg against the Jets. They're going to come out fired up and motivated.
Okay. And like I said, we're just doing this to see, just let's see what their record is going to be.
They're losing. They're beating the Patriots. They're beating the shit out of the Patriots.
Stop me if you think I'm wrong on anything. So that's 6-2. They're going to lose to the Chiefs.
That's an up in the. I have that as an up in the air game.
I do too.
Okay.
Never know what can happen.
6-3. They'll beat the Raiders.
Wait, X, just let Grumpy say it so we can't speak at the same time.
Okay.
Go, Grumpy.
They'll beat the Raiders. They'll be 7-3. They're going to split with the Jets this year. I say they're going to lose the first game. Let's make it 7-4. They'll beat the Commanders 8-4. Beat the Titans 9-4. Beat the Jets 10-4. Beat the Cowboys 11-4. I say they lose to the Ravens 11-5 and lose to the Bills 11-6.
Where's that Bills game's in that game's in Miami? I think they beat the Bills in Miami.
I don't. I think that's for division title.
Has Tua been sacked yet this year?
Yes.
Yeah, he has.
Like once.
Remember, he played against Buffalo last week.
They put what I heard is they put airbags in his helmet when he falls down.
No. He was in another movie. He was in a movie. It was called Little Giants. When he went out for a practice, the little kid who doesn't want his mama getting hurt. Don't you be talking about my mama. His mama sent him out there because, he was a little frail. So they sent him out all kind of packaged up. I don't know if we can kind of pull that just to show it to her, how he was dressed, his uniform was against the Buffalo Bills. But that's what it was. The little kid with the specs. And she had him like in bubble wrap and shit, and like furniture cushions were taped to his body.
Somebody call 911. That was his little saying.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a little different, Grumpy old man. I'll show you what I think it actually is that he came out and was prepped in. It is another player from the Little Giants, but it's a different one. And this is the one I thought you were going to bring it to.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh my God! Tua just got tackled. He went down, Grump.
No, I wanted to show you how he came wrapped up in bubble wrap. Why don't you do what I like for my thing?
Icebox. It's Icebox who tackled him.
He's bleeding, Grump.
Okay, no.
Looky there. He's got a peanut butter and jelly in his helmet to keep him safe, Grump.
If you knew anything about comedy, you would realize you pull up what I led you to pull up. Not you going on some tangent. It's like getting somebody a birthday present when they tell you what they want and you just determine, well, I'm just going to get you what I want to get you. Doesn't matter what you want. That shit don't matter.
Okay, Grumpy, I'm going to let you know something. Birthday presents are not Amazon orders. You don't just say, hey, I'm going to put this in my Amazon cart and purchase this. Can somebody else please buy this item for me? MFer, that's not how that works, Grump.
Oh, man. I have a feeling there's some personal beef over that.
Here's the thing. Grumpy likes to just go ahead and do it where he just loads up his Amazon cart with 50 bajillion movies and says, hey, just go ahead and buy some of these for me. And that could be my birthday gift.
Excuse me, X.
That's not how that works, MFer. That's not what happens.
X, is that true or not?
Yes. This specific item was not on Amazon that Grumpy wanted for his birthday.
And TJ determined, you don't want that. I'm going to get
what
you
are you talking about?
We'll talk about it after the show.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it after the
talk about it right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a typical TJ.
It rhymes with Ulk Ogan.
Oh, this motherfucker
See,
wanted
there you
a
go.
Hulk Hogan. He wanted a Hulk Hogan autograph picture. Not the one that I wanted. He wanted a different type of Hulk Hogan autograph picture.
So there we go. TJ thinks
Again.
that you should get what I want to give you, not what you really want.
Well, I know you. That's what
You know what
want.
I got you, Grumpy? Hey, you know what I got you? I got you what I wanted to get you when I think
know
you're
what,
going to enjoy
TJ?
for your birthday. Not a Hulk Hogan
You're a
signed
Pittsburgh,
picture.
TJ, you're a Pittsburgh Panther fan. I'm just going to start buying you some West Virginia shit. Start giving you that.
I'm not.
Here's
I
the
think
thing.
that's what you should
I'm
do.
not telling you. I'm not telling you. Hey, X, I really want to go ahead and get a Islanders jersey. Can you go ahead and get me an Islanders jersey with Matt Barzal?
No, I'm going to get you Rangers shit now. I'm going to get you Rangers shit.
Oh,
So
everyone knows.
Don't tell people what you.
Everyone knows he's a Rangers fan.
Don't worry, I'll surprise you with Rangers shit.
Yeah. Happy birthday. There you go.
Yep. Enjoy.
Here's a
You said
Montreal
you wanted
Canadiens
to
sweater.
get your Hulk Hogan picture anyway, Grumpy?
Enjoy it.
You
Enjoy
said
it.
you got your Hulk Hogan picture anyway?
You did not? Nope.
I didn't get it. What the hell?
He's Hulk Hogan list, TJ.
Where are you going to hang it, Grumpy? Where are you going to hang your Hulk Hogan picture,
My
huh?
house. I got
Where in
plenty
your
of wall
house?
space.
Where in
After
the grumpiest state are you hanging it? Right next to that picture?
When he found out he wasn't going to get it, he said, "Let me tell you something, brother. I'm very frustrated."
After I moved all your shit out and drove it over to you, I got plenty of wall space left.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I said, "Hey, guys, this is what I really want for my birthday." And TJ's like, no, that's not what you want. You want this.
I got you something else.
Yeah, I know what you got me.
No, you don't know what I got
Don't
you.
worry, Grump. Me as the superior son will get you.
Okay, you ordered it from Amazon. You know, the magical pull things from Amazon you said you weren't going to do. That's what you did.
I didn't get something on your Amazon. I ordered something different.
That's right. It was very ironic, wasn't it, X? Very ironic.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't even know what the hell we were talking about before we got freaking derailed.
Comments.
We were talking about the fact I wanted to show you how Tua was wrapped up in bubble wrap playing against the Bills when he fell down, and you determined you're going to go in a different direction.
I want to go back to shitting on Tua. Is what I really want to do. I want to go back to talking about this miserable strength of schedule.
Well, here, first off, D-Cut says to fire X. Fire me.
Fire him. You're gone, X. You're gone. Okay. One more time. Look at the cumulative record of the teams they've beaten. It's hideous.
We already talked about that.
Absolutely hideous, Grump. 2-2.
That's why I'm saying just I preface it by saying Miami's a good team. I think Miami will make playoffs.
They're a good team.
I wonder how they will play when they have to play in the cold. A lot of these teams that throw the ball around and are flashy like that and play down south, they struggle outside in the cold weather. I don't know if they will. I don't know the last time they beat Buffalo up in Buffalo in cold weather. It wasn't last year, I can tell you that much. So I'm just saying, just pump the brakes a little bit and I think Miami makes playoffs.
Yes.
Just to say Tua MVP, okay, you're playing the Patriots, Broncos, Giants, Panthers. They're like the bottom of the dregs of the league right now.
The Panthers might be the worst team in the NFL.
They are.
The Broncos are not far behind, and neither are the Patriots.
The Broncos, I think, are the second worst, and I think the Patriots are third worst.
The Giants, after tonight, will be 1-5. The Bills will be 4-2.
I don't know if they're winning right now.
What's the score of the game, X? And how do you know?
3-0 to the Giants, to the G-Men.
Who's that quarterback for the Giants right now? I know Daniel Jones is out. Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor-led Giants are beating the Bills.
Good, good for Tyrod Taylor. He's been able to make a nice long career out of being,
a backup,
journeyman.
A backup, yeah, journeyman. Yeah, good for him. No problem there.
Absolutely. X, you want to get to some comments though?
Yeah, let's get to some comments. Get them up.
Gungu said there may not be the 85 Bears, but I have to admit the Giants D is pretty damn good. Best in the NFL. I'm sorry, the Jets D is pretty darn good. Best in the NFL. Cleveland's really good too defensively.
I was about to say you had two teams that were projected to lose today, one due to defense.
And 49ers defense is really good too.
Yep.
There's quite a few good defenses in the league right now. And I'm happy about that.
They've been making a little bit of a comeback, playing some more defense.
Drew says today's challenge for TJ. Can he contain his hatred for the Giants?
Nope.
I don't hate the Giants. They're just stupid. Now, Grumpy, this is something that upset Grumpy, by the way.
Yep.
I was talking with them on the phone when this happened, and Grumpy said, "You wouldn't believe it. Tua just got charged a 15-yard penalty due to excessive celebration. He did a backflip." I said, "Tua did a backflip?" He's like, "Yeah, Tua did a backflip." And X had to correct him. It was Tyreek Hill. But 15-yard penalty for this. I want you to rate how creative the celebration is.
Not at all.
I said the only time Tua is doing backflips is when he's getting concussed.
Not at all. There's no creativity in this at all. It was all set up. All of it was set up. They showed this kid doing the long field. He was watching the whole way down, just Tyreek running down there, and he sought him out. He grabbed the camera and he did the flip thing. It was all a setup. It was all a setup.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's kind of disappointing. But here it is for those who didn't see it.
This kid playing his role here. Yeah, sure.
Just some guy did it with a selfie on. Ugh, okay.
Yeah, he ran. If you actually saw the whole thing, he was filming in portrait mode. By the way, the whole play coming down the field right at Tua, just watching Tua. I mean, not Tua, Tyreek, the whole way down, and he sought him out. He sought him out for the camera. Tyreek sought him out for the camera.
Let's get some more comments there, X.
Allen, Mahomes, and Hurts all had their worst games against the Jets. The Jets' defense is good. The Jets give the Bills a lot of problems.
Yep.
And Will adds, that game was exactly like the Chiefs game. The Jets could really be 4-2. They should be 4-2. The NFL made sure the Chiefs won that game.
Facts.
Now,
they made sure they beat the Vikings too.
Here's some good news about the Jets. Look at this.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Man, look at him. It's our boy, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is out there throwing no walking boot on, throwing the football around.
Hey, those magical mushrooms, baby. Look
at
that. Look at his hat. He's even got the tie-dye on the hat.
Psychedelic hat.
Yep. Is he taking some of that Ray Lewis
deer antler spray?
Spraying it onto his Achilles?
That actually only helps your bones, but maybe they made a new formula that helps your joints.
So once he went ahead and utilized that and came back from the tricep tear, they banned it the next year because they're like, this is not a substance that we can allow people to use.
I thought it gives you thicker bones. Does it not?
I don't know. I don't know what the hell the deer antler spray does. I just know it was banned 1 year after it was being used and exploited. They said no more use of that. So
okay, but any way you want to talk about it, that's good news for the Jets, is it not?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he'll be back before the regular season ends,
which would be incredible.
That would be insane.
He's already moving around. No walking boot. Now, again, he's still got a long time, I'm sure. He's probably got months, 2 months probably. I'm thinking towards the end of the regular season, he'll be back to play a few games to get ready. I could tell you, and man, if the Jets could squeak into the postseason,
that'd be insane.
They could do some damage with that defense.
Yep.
The defense is one of the best. They're close to the Browns. Them or the Browns are the best defense at the moment.
Their offensive line is not good enough. You got that fat pig on one side.
Yeah. Wait, who's the fat pig?
You know, we got video of him in McDonald's.
Who?
TJ
Who is
won't
it, bro?
pull it
I
up.
need to hear it. Who?
Becton, you know.
Oh,
Mackay's a machine, Grumpy. Mekhi Becton's a machine.
Fat boy. But Elijah Vera Tucker is out for the year. That hurts their offensive line. Their offensive line is not good. It's not. So, I don't know if they try to do something at the trade deadline, bring an alignment in. Who knows? But they need help for the offensive line. That being said, man, wouldn't it be exciting to see Rodgers back if he make the playoffs?
I think he could be back before that. I mean, he's already moving around.
Yeah, I don't know about the Achilles. I don't know how that works for playing.
Yeah.
X. Come on, X.
All right, hold on. We're starting some other comments. Chill.
Google says the Islanders blanket back behind the X-Man did its reemergence bring the Islanders good luck last night? No. X was over here at my house.
Brought them good luck. Don't listen to Grumpy. He was out.
Okay. Drew says Jalen Hurts is Brock Purdy if he could power lift.
I don't know about that. Jalen Hurts, I think, is better than Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy.
They're two different quarterbacks. Brock Purdy is okay, but I just don't see him being a guy who, hey, I think you can win with him if things are right. That's what I'll say. So is
I think
Tua.
he is the quintessential slightly above average quarterback.
Yes.
Slightly above average. Some games he looks really good. Other games you're like, what is this? It's only year 2 for him, right? So I'm willing to give that caveat in there. It's only year 2 for Brock Purdy.
Well, it's
very
funny.
early in his career.
I don't know if Drew sent a meme to you about this or not, TJ, but I saw a meme from NFL's meme page, how they had a picture of Brock Purdy and said Brock Purdy without Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, and it morphs into Zach Wilson. Saying he's trash, though.
Next comment. Goonley says, does this win mean the Jets can actually play with the big boys, or are they merely a merry mirage? TJ?
I'm trying to get pulled up. Oh, God.
Okay.
I don't know. They're holding their own.
I agree with TJ. I don't think that Philadelphia, as good as they were last year, losing both of your coordinators, I think is a struggle. I think a lot of teams in the league have kind of figured out the RPO offenses that teams run now.
Yes.
And I think you're going to see a lot less of that going forward.
Every quarterback runs it a little different. And I think once you figure out the intricacies and how one quarterback does it slightly different, the guy has to reinvent what he does, or he's got to say, I have to be able to sit in the pocket to be able to efficiently complete passes. And then, he hasn't looked as dangerous this year, wouldn't you agree, as he has last year? The defense is still damn good. That Eagles defense is still damn good.
You can expose them deep.
I think because they have a lot of corner injuries, but their seven is really good.
No, they've lost both of their safeties from last year, and they're looking to get another safety. That's their issue, beating them deep, is the safeties are not as good. So
I thought they had a few cornerbacks injured too, but maybe I'm wrong.
They might have a cornerback out, but it's their problems at safety. Their lines are both still excellent. Interesting. What's this one say?
Dolphin fans they do a pro to a narrative.
Here we go. I'm about to make myself retarded. Here we go. I'm about to make myself retarded.
I knew what that theme was.
Oh,
We've
boy.
got one more. Kyle Hamilton, when he sees a defenseless tight ends receiver.
He got ejected today. We didn't see it.
You can't see my screen?
No.
Okay, my mistake here, Grumpy. Hold on? Did you see this one too?
We did see that one. We did see that one. Oh, I'd love to see that. I did not see the.
Oh, holy shit!
That looked like Bobby Boucher.
My God. Oh
Now,
my God.
Do we
that was
have
like Devontae Adams getting hit today?
Do we have the Kyle Hamilton hit today?
I'll pull it up. I didn't know it happened. Oh God, Jalen Hurts after Lane Johnson got injured. Yeah, Baker Mayfield had a very unproductive day per the usual.
Fake Nation is a legend. Don't do him like that.
Fake Nation found a way to lose again.
Fake Nation, baby.
The Lions are good. The Lions are 5-1.
They're good.
And I thought Tampa Bay played well today. The Lions are really good, though. I mean, let me tell you something. I was saying that Tampa Bay was going to fall off the planet losing Brady because I don't think that Bowles is much of a head coach. They've done a nice job this year. Really a nice job.
Look at their strength of schedule.
Okay, but
you haven't played anyone, please.
But they've taken that big. Remember when Brady was here, they pushed a lot of contracts out, and they wound up eating all that dead money this year. So for them to be at the record that they are right now, I think that's kudos to the organization. I'm just going to flat out say it. And Baker Mayfield is playing productive quarterback position on the cheap for them. I think that's honestly, I think they've done a really nice job considering the financial situation they were in going into the season.
I think they've done well. That being said, they've played really shitty opponents. I don't know any other way around it. They haven't had a tough strength of schedule. X, if you remove that comment, I want to put up the Kyle Hamilton hit that Grumpy wanted to see here. This is it in fast motion. I'll show you it slowed down and a more zoomed in angle.
Chris Moore.
He's a little high, I think. No. Oh, geez. He's on
can tell.
wobbly leg. He's like, ooh, hello. Dudes, help him up. I mean,
No, you're not supposed to pick a guy up, Grumpy.
no, okay. Picking him up and holding him, and he's trying to get up on his hands like this. It's like, come on.
Defensive back trying to come in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, game suspension, right?
Yeah, he's got
that's targeting. That's a game misconduct. You're out for this game and next game. Was this in the second quarter? Or was this in the second half or the first half?
I don't know. I was asleep.
It was in the second half. He shouldn't be playing next week either. When you hit somebody in the second half like this, you get a game misconduct that carries to the next game. Sorry, buddy.
Oh,
Can't
boy,
be doing dumb shit like that.
That's college football rules right there.
Yep.
Oh, can't be doing dumb shit like that.
Ugh. Yeah, man. Look at him.
That's definitely targeting.
Certainly helmet to helmet. I think that's fair to say, right?
Okay, in college, that's listed as targeting.
Yeah.
It should be targeting across the board.
He
It's
didn't
not,
need to
it's not like the rules change.
He didn't need to launch himself at him like that.
Well, he did because he wanted the outcome that he got, which was injuring the other guy.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, you want me to show some comments?
There, X.
Drew says, by the way, I have some news. Oh, thanks, Drew. I've successfully pissed off the Lamanites earlier today on Twitter. I want to start a movement, but we need some people to join the hashtag anti-Lamanites gang.
It's the ALG.
Lamanite gang.
I don't know what he said, but I'm sure he was angry. D-Cut says, Tua feasts on crappy teams. Even Renee knows this. I mean, is that fair to say? I mean,
yes.
But now he's beaten Baltimore last year and Buffalo when they ran out of gas down in Miami in September.
And Baltimore went ahead and gave up like 30 unanswered points in the fourth quarter because it was a hot summer day in Miami compared to the nice, cool Baltimore weather. Yes, absolutely. He's not a fucking good quarterback. I don't know what times I got to tell you this, Grumpy. He's a quarterback that has had he's had a fortuitous schedule, played against shitty opponents. And you know what? All we had to wait was for the Buffalo Bills to come just beat the freaking brakes off the Miami Dolphins, and they stayed quiet and they said, hey, we beat the 1-5 Giants and the 0-6 Panthers to a mania MVP. That load of bullshit again.
Okay, I admitted that point that they're playing, and I've said people just calm down a little bit. They're playing the weakest part of their schedule, but to say that he just is horrible, he's not horrible. I mean, the offense is really quarterback friendly. They have tremendous weapons. He can succeed in that offense. How he succeeds in weather games or cold games, is what sets him apart. When you're playing in a dome or in warm weather where everything's perfect, I think he can be sufficient. I don't know if he can do that in cold weather games or in rain games and wind games. That's all.
He didn't win any games last year at the end of the year. Not a single one.
That's because he was unconscious.
No. When he was in the starting lineup.
Playing unconscious.
But
he wasn't playing unconscious, Grumpy. He wasn't playing concussed.
But he was out from Thanksgiving on. He was out for the rest of the year.
I'll pull up the games that he lost last year so the Dolphin fans even get this wrong. Look at the damn stats. It's clear as day. I'll pull it up. X, continue with comments, please.
James Farrell says, wow, the Jets beat the Eagles. First time ever. Is that really the first time the Jets have ever beaten the Eagles?
I don't know, but if so, that's wild.
That is wild. I mean, geez. Wow. Drew says, Tyreek Hill got hurt for like 10 minutes, then came back into the game. He probably got some of that deer antler spray.
It was a hamstring thing, but I think he was cramping. That's what they said.
Goon Goon says, did the Giants stand a snowball's chance in hell of beating the big bad Bills tonight? They could.
Bills are driving down the field right now, though.
Anything is possible. Here's the thing. A lot of times you see a team that's really, really bad, and all of a sudden, they think they're just going to come in and roll you, and a team can be prepared. So, you know what? We're not going to lay down for this team. And
as soon as the clock struck December, dong. It's like, look at the play. Loss, 4 losses in a row. All games he started in.
Oh, really? He started those last 4 games?
Yes. 18 for 33, 2 picks. 10 for 28, 1 touchdown and a loss.
Well, that explains
17 for 30. What?
That explains something why the Dolphins are petitioning the league to start the season in July and end it in November.
And the Super Bowl should be on Thanksgiving Day, is what they're
Yes,
hoping for.
That's right.
So, here's the thing. It's just like last year. He plays well when it's really warm outside, and it gets a little burr and cold and chilly outside. You see, and then, hey, when it can't go ahead and beat. Look at the teams too that they lost to. San Francisco is a good team. The Chargers were a pretty good team last year. The Bills were a good team. So were the Packers. The Packers were kind of shitty last year, weren't they?
Oh, so it was Christmas Day.
Yeah,
when,
they were terrible last year.
Yeah, they were bad last year.
Yeah, okay. Look at the teams that beat up on Texans, the shitty Browns, the Bears, the team that didn't make the postseason, the Lions. Pittsburgh just squeaked into the postseason last year, right?
I don't think they made postseason.
I don't think they made it either.
Okay, maybe they didn't. Concussion, 2 losses. Cincinnati, they lost to. They beat Buffalo early on, and
In Miami.
early on.
In Miami.
I'm telling you, they don't win against good teams. You know what they remind me of, the Dolphins? The Islanders. They beat really shitty teams, and good teams come to town. They just get the doors beaten off them.
I'll say playing in Miami does help because the other team's pretty much playing in an oven when they're sitting on the sidelines. The fact that they have all that heat they designed that stadium to fuck the other team over. They really did.
Where you're going to be staring like this.
Really did.
The sun's going.
That's what I said. I said, why don't they do what they do in college and break out tents for the players? Like break out tents and like mist machines for them. And Grump had said, well, no, because you can't see the players. The league won't allow that.
Well, here's the thing. That's probably why they put those magnifying glasses on top of the stadium. Shine down on the bench.
Yeah. If you threw some bacon out there by the second half, you'd have cooked food.
Second half, halfway through the first quarter, X.
Yeah, probably, yeah. You're probably right.
Shit.
There. But yeah,
right,
they really screw over other teams with their stadium design.
Oh, hey, man, they take advantage of it. If you're
home
used to the
field
heat,
advantage, it's home field advantage.
Guess what? You know what it means, though? Because you're playing in nice 75, 80-degree weather in the summertime when you're forced to travel on the road and go play someplace that's minus 10 degrees and snowy, you come out there and you lay an egg.
If I was Buffalo, I'd have like a whole damn like hut on the freaking sidelines for my team to get warm.
Well, but the whole thing is, that's why you see teams that are built for certain type of weather, right? If you're a Northeast team, you're going to have to be able to run the ball.
Yes.
Teams that throw the ball all over the place, if everything breaks right and they're playing inside domes the whole way and Super Bowls are all held in domes, you can win. But if you have to go on the road, it's really difficult because those high-flying offenses tend to get slowed down in bad weather and cold weather.
It's rainy or it's windy, it's cold, the ball's dead, it doesn't go as far. You know, when you're running routes, you think you go ahead and hit a guy in stride, but because the ball's dead, because it's freezing cold, it's like, oh, the ball went 2 yards less and ends up being an interception compared to a completed pass and a touchdown. Like, all that shit matters.
Yeah, I'm just, for me, you have to have a good arm to play in the Northeast in the winter. You can't have an arm that's not up to par. You can't. You got to have a strong enough arm throw through those winds. I mean, that's like from Baltimore all the way up to Buffalo.
So what do you think about Noodles? Do you think he's got a strong enough arm to win some road games?
In the winter, I don't think so. I just don't think his arm is good enough. I never have, though. I know I'm on record for that. But don't tell me. I think they can win with him. It's such a quarterback-friendly offense. Brock Purdy, before today, was undefeated. That's all you need to know.
Next comments we have here.
JP said, I'm being told by Drew that the Lamanites are up in arms because Dobson is playing well. They are allergic to talent, I believe. Not that I'm basking in the victory. They barely squeaked by Buffalo.
Yeah. I was telling Grumpy earlier before when he was transfixed on the game that Andy Francis and the guys are over there talking about, the goal, Grumpy, you know the goal.
I know the goal.
Where Adam Pellick went out of position to lay a check. They're trying to say that Noah Dobson not doing anything was why Pellick had to do that. And I'm like, dude, I said, call that as it is. Pellick made a poor defensive mistake. He left his positioning and he left for a 2-on-1 going the other way and left his defensive partner high to dry.
Noah Dobson
problem.
Noah Dobson was behind Adam Pellick. I don't know that was Adam Pellick going off the script. He didn't need to hit that guy, and it wound up costing him a goal.
He was being marked already, but he was like, I'm going to go ahead and lay a hit. Yikes.
And he winds up taking out the guy, and the other guy skates right behind him. And then that's it. 2-on-1 goal.
Drew L. Grumpy.
Justin Pugh just had a fantastic Sunday Night Football intro straight off the couch. Justin Pugh played for the Giants in the early 2010s. They needed somebody to sign, and he was back. Andrew L. says Daniel Jones, Duke, Saquon Barkley, Penn State, Evan Neal, Burger King. Wow, okay.
No, go back.
So that's the colleges I guess they played for.
Yes.
Daniel Jones is Duke, Penn State for Barkley, and Burger King is where Evan Neal went to school.
All righty. Alexander Grumpy.
Alexander. So then answer me this. Who's the best team in the NFL? I'll wait.
49ers.
I'm going to tell you who it's not. It's not the Dolphins, Alexander. I'm sorry. It's not. I know that's the answer you want to hear.
It's the 49ers.
It's the 49ers.
And you'll find out next week that Dolphins not going to beat the Eagles. They're not.
I'm going to say one thing about the game that's going on right now. Tyrod Taylor is already a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
He's always been a better quarterback than
Daniel Jones blows. When they gave him that 4 or 5 year contract, it was the stupidest decision there. That 4-year contract, it was the stupidest decision a franchise could have made. It was just dumb. We called it out. They called it out day one. Just stupid.
They doubled down on suck because of one game in the playoffs against Minnesota, a bad Minnesota team.
Yep.
That's how he got the deal. Gungun says, just how badly did the Patriots suckle the teat at the rate they're floundering? Old frown face, my God, won't get his shot at glory, most wins, before the door hits him on his keister on the way out. Okay, I did want to talk about this.
I know you did.
To me, they're the worst team in the league. They are the worst team in the NFL. They're poorly coached. They have no talent. The general manager screwed up, and they let the people's champion go. That's what started the whole thing. I'm kind of reveling in it a little bit. Just proves me right. The people's champion leaves. They suck. They suck before the people's champion got there. They were great while the people's champion was there. He leaves. They suck. Oh, no, we suck again. That's the way it is over down there. And Belichick again, post-game, Josh McDaniels, who was his offensive coordinator, not once, but twice for what? A cumulative 12, 13 years? He does one of those pissy blow-bys on him at the handshake at the end of the game. Dude, grow up. You're 70-something years old. Josh McDaniels been kissing your ass forever, and you can't even give the guy a proper handshake. Hey, Josh, good job. It's one of those. It's like last week at the press conference. They have the conference, and he takes the microphone down so nobody can hear his answers. Like,
is that what he's doing?
Yeah. He yanks the microphone down, throws it down on the table so no one can hear his answers. We need to start over. You need to start over. Dude, you're in the season. Yeah, starting over.
So, TJ, I don't know if you had the thing that I sent you as well about the Patriots' performance. And there was one other one I didn't send you. So before today's game, the Boston Red Sox had scored more runs than the Patriots had points in the month of October. The Red Sox had only played a game on October 1st.
I don't know. Are you talking about when Belichick threw the little iPad or whatever?
No, that's something else too.
No.
I'm not sure.
Think about Brady having 248 starts and only losing one game by more than 30 points. And Mac Jones has done that in back-to-back weeks.
And that was opening day of 2003, I believe, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. That's not happening with this team. I told you, remember I told you 2 weeks ago, if they lose to the Saints, it's watch out below. They're there. They're there now. They're 1-5. They're going to lose to Buffalo next week. I think Buffalo's next week, isn't it?
Yep.
They'll lose to Buffalo next week. They'll lose to Miami the week after that. And there's no way that they're going to be third worst in the record, third wise. I mean, you look at Chicago with the shoulder injury or whatever it is dislocated for Justin Fields. That's going to hurt them. The Panthers, who are better than the Patriots, they're having a hard time winning games. They're going to be one of the bottom 5 teams in the league. How far the mighty have fallen. And you still hear the narrative, oh, this is so unusual for Bill Belichick team. No, it's not. It's ever since you lost the People's Champion. Then your team has sucked. He has a record of, I think since Brady left, 26-30. That's the team's record, below average. He's got a losing record in his career without Brady. Those are just facts. Sorry.
Now, Justin Fields did get hurt. How bad did the injury look?
I mean, he came off the field. He had a towel over his hand as he was walking to the locker room.
I thought
You didn't really see it.
I thought it was a shoulder. I guess it was the hand. But
It
again,
was his hand. It was his
it's
hand.
the running. And the guy, you know what? Running quarterback, he had a chance to line him up. Then he took him down hard. He absolutely did.
Yeah, and like, oh my God.
Not a dirty hit.
No,
Not a dirty
I'm
hit.
I'm looking at the comment that this person put on there, say the play where Justin Fields injured his hand. Every week we're seeing more and more star players go down with extensive injuries. When will it stop? As soon as they stop trying to extend plays and leave themselves susceptible to getting hit. The reason they've made it so quarterback friendly is because when quarterbacks get hit, it's not something that they do every single down. Every other player on that field, with the exception of sometimes corners and wide receivers, hit every single day and hit for a living. Quarterbacks stand back there in the pocket and throw the football, and sometimes they run. They are the least. Them and kickers get touched the least amount. So you run out there, you try to extend plays, you're eventually going to get tackled, you're going to get brought down to the ground, you're going to get injured. Just how it is.
I thought your problem was with the fact that he considered Justin Fields a star player.
Oh, I didn't even. It was just such a dumb statement. I was like, he's definitely not a star player. That's for certain. So he's caught trying to throw the ball out, and I guess he had his hand like that.
That's not the one where he got hurt. That's not the one where he got hurt.
It's the right hand.
Okay, that's not the play where he got lit up on the sideline.
Yes, it is.
That's the play he got hurt on.
That's the play he got hurt on. That's the reason I brought it up. But like he left, it's the right hand that got rolled up on, and I wonder if he broke something in it because you do see him.
He had a towel over it.
Dislocated, they said.
Okay, well, he dislocated something in his hand because he has a towel over it.
Yeah, here it is. Walking off. I mean, the Vikings are bad, B-A-double-D bad, and the Bears are not much better. Oh,
yeah, both terrible teams. I mean, who thought that the Detroit Lions are going to walk away with that division this year? And really, their only competition for home field throughout the playoffs is the Eagles. That's it. Oh, San Francisco.
It's early. It's early. It's early yet.
I forgot about San Francisco.
Oh, Kansas City too.
Kansas City's not going to have home field.
It's early yet, Grumpy. It's early.
It is.
So that's all I'll say. X, what other type of comments do we have here?
Hold on, I was just starting some more.
Joseph C. says Jalen Hurts was garbage today. Tired of hearing him being a top 5 quarterback. He's a top 5 fantasy quarterback.
Yes.
He's not a top 5 quarterback.
Because he rushes the ball a lot. Gets a lot of rushing touchdowns.
He's not a great thrower of the ball. He's not. Never has been.
Look at the same thing. And RG3 is a little different. He got the knee injury. Every single quarter. Lamar Jackson, same exact shit.
Last year, though, Jalen Hurts was a top 5 quarterback.
So was Lamar Jackson when he won the MVP. Every single quarterback that is able to exploit defenses by being able to roll out of the pocket, do something different, and then go ahead and create yards on the ground, which opens up yards via passing. In year 2, teams have enough film on them, and they always, and I mean always, figure out what to do. And then they're saying, hey, when we're game planning here for Justin Fields, when we're game planning for Jalen Hurts, when we're game planning for Lamar Jackson, when he rolls here and we've got the blind doing this, this is the play. This is where they're going to throw the football or they're going to run. They have it very broken down. When they have it broken down, it then is like, hey, it takes a lot of the spontaneity out of it that the quarterback can do, and it forces them to throw the football more, which leads to incomplete passes or interceptions.
You said it perfectly, TJ. No need to even
It's always like that.
JP says the Browns game was gift wrapped by the officials for Cleveland. I disagree with that.
Now, they had some poor calls across the board in that game.
Okay. The 49ers scored a touchdown right after an interception, another one by PJ Walker. And there was blatant holding at the point of attack that lets the guy walk into the end zone.
Yep, 85.
I wanted to show this one. Look at this call that they screwed up on earlier today in the same game.
They changed it, though.
Receiving team, number 20. That penalty will be half the distance to the goal. First down.
You see Pierre. Yeah. Oh, I think they called it on the wrong team, Kev. I think the penalty was on San Francisco. I think Ambry Thomas was the one who had the field goal. I think that's what the officials are discussing.
Yeah, they got to talk about this.
They don't have that right.
After discussion on the field,
I was a dumbass.
the penalty is on the kicking team, number 20.
I'm 800 years old and I shouldn't be out here doing this.
Now, after the discussion, my partners told me I was a dumbass, so we're going to reverse that call.
After we put it up on the Jumbotron and everybody could see how blatantly wrong we were, we needed to go ahead and adjust the call on the field.
We got the call from the head office.
That one's too blatant. You need to go ahead and fix that.
Yeah. James Farrell says Raiders got an ugly win. Shouldn't have been that close. 1 for 6 in the red zone. Jimmy G, don't rush back. The fact that Brian Hoyer led them to that victory. Think about Brian Hoyer, right? He had been the backup quarterback when Mac Jones was there.
Yeah.
And the Patriots determined, we don't need him. We're going to put some other young kid in there. Brian Hoyer is exactly the type of quarterback that they need when things aren't going well for Mac Jones, someone who can fill in a tight spot. They don't have that. They had Malik Cunningham, who was a wide receiver / quarterback at Liberty University, a streety. He was their backup quarterback today. And then they had Bailey Zappi, who they cut at the end of training camp and then brought back, and Will Greer, another streety. So they have 4 quarterbacks on their roster. When you have 4 quarterbacks on your roster, it means you have 0 quarterbacks.
That other quarterback who played at Liberty, you remember Malik Willis was the starting quarterback at Liberty. So this guy played what? He played 1 year, or this guy before Malik Willis?
No, he's a rookie. He's a rookie.
Okay, so this is the guy who played 1 year after Malik Willis. Okay, gotcha. Oof.
Tony G says Son X gets so excited by injuries. Yeah, he's got an issue.
I wouldn't say that he get excited about injuries. There were just a lot of injuries today.
Yeah, there's a lot of injuries, says Son X.
I think he was excited as well, Tony.
I agree. James
says the Giants got the throwback uniforms on tonight. This is when they won the championship back in the day. I remember these uniforms from the 1980s.
Hold on. The Bills are losing 6-0. What the hell is happening? What's going on with the Bills?
The Bills' offensive line is terrible tonight.
Josh Allen going into the blue tent.
Really?
Yeah, they think he
Bills
might have
have
a
the ball,
concussion.
don't they?
Yeah, they think he might have a concussion.
Okay, this is big news that we just put up here. Rest in peace, Suzanne Summers. TJ, I want a picture of Suzanne Summers. She was on Three's Company. She was part of the Jiggle TV period back in the 1970s. And she was Chrissy Snow on the show Three's Company. She also did the little leg thingy she would do. And I don't know how old she was, but she looked pretty good for her age, honestly. I think she was in her upper 70s, maybe 80. Do we have a picture of Suzanne Summers? There she is.
Picture there for you, Grumpy. Take you back to yesteryear.
She was absolutely, and she was a little hottie patati back in the day.
Control yourself.
She played
Gordon's upstairs.
She played.
Whoa, Grumpy! Whoa, Grumpy!
She played a dumb blonde on Three's Company.
RDX. What else do we have here?
Just leave her picture.
I know, but I have to hope Josh Allen comes back because I have him on my fantasy team, so I cannot afford to lose him this game.
Play through your concussion, Josh Allen.
Don't worry.
That X is giving you.
He's back.
Okay. Woo!
Drew said, yeah, there's no way they're sitting him out. Now, if it was Kirk Cousins, he probably went out, or Justin Jeff.
He would have said he's got to take his kid to the. He's got to
Here's
take his
the
kid to the
Tua.
baseball game.
If Tua goes into the tent, he ain't
He's
never
gone.
coming out.
He's done for the rest of the year.
No, Tua is like Jimmy G. He doesn't go to the medical tent. He goes to the hospital.
Good one. Drew says the Dolphins play Philly next week. Probably getting destroyed by everyone's favorite street racer, Jalen Carter. Okay, what's the thing that the Eagles do really well? They really do well getting after the passer
and stopping the run.
and stopping the run. So it'll be oh shit. We got a Buffalo guy, another one. Looks like man, I don't want to say looks like he's dead on the turf, but man, it looks like he ain't moving.
Oh, grumpy.
Holy shit. This is not good. How many years can they go through with this? Oh man, that's not good. Goon says, Grumpy, do you make a killing playing the stock market like a pro back in the 80s? No, I did not.
Nice comment there, X.
Drew says, by the way, fun fact, Justin Herbert is 18-2 when his defense gives up less than 27 points a game. There you go. Think about it, 27 points a game. D-Cut says, Herbert is greater than Noodle Arm. I don't know who he's talking about.
That's right. A round of applause. That's right there, D-Cut. I would agree. Herbert is better than Tua.
It said Noodle Arm. He did not say Tua.
We know what he's referencing.
JP says the league, especially the NFL, has rigged shit forever. A league started by bookies. I just find it interesting how the bookmakers are able to accurately pick 90+% of the time these games within the spread. It's just so close. How do they do that? You would think with people playing, it would be really, really difficult, but somehow they're good at it. Freeze warning says Southern Cal showing their true colors again finally got burnt.
Yeah. Isn't that right? Hey, Grumpy, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
We're in year number 2. This is the year that you predicted USC will finally go ahead and make the college football playoffs under Lincoln Riley. Grumpy, how did they
still could.
Notre Dame this weekend? Grumpy, how did they look?
They lost. I don't know how they looked. I was doing the Islanders Never Say Die podcast where I did not see the game.
I was watching them.
They probably got ripped off.
It was a lot of turnovers. It was a lot of turnovers. It was also a home game for Notre Dame. So you got to put that in
Well, there's always going to be a home and an away team. So
okay, well, there were a lot of turnovers, and honestly, that's what beat them. A lot of turnovers.
I think
we'll put it up here.
I mean, they turned the ball over twice where Notre Dame got it in the red zone.
I think that Southern Cal suffers from the same issues that Oklahoma did when Lincoln Riley was the head coach.
A coaching issue. That's right.
I don't think it's a coaching issue.
It's a coaching issue. It's a coaching issue.
It's not getting the right defensive coordinator.
Who goes ahead and selects a defensive coordinator?
Head coach.
I'm just saying.
There we go. So it sounds like it's a coaching issue.
They need to get a more defensive-minded defensive coordinator, and they need to recruit more of those guys. Now, I know that they recruit defensive players, quite a few, but maybe they need to go after different types of players. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is that USC is suffering from the same symptoms that Oklahoma suffered previously, where they're a really, really good team, but they can get exposed against teams who are really good on the ground. And I think that's what you saw last
Damn,
time.
they're loading this guy up in the ambulance.
Yeah, I told you, man. He got hurt, seriously injured.
Oh.
Well, let's go ahead and look at some of the highlights here. Now, I will tell you this. Caleb Williams struggled big time. Big struggle for Caleb Williams.
He'll still be the number 1 pick in the draft.
I think he's going to bust out. I've already told you that. I think he's not the best quarterback in college football, despite winning the Heisman last year. He plays in a no defense league, and that's why he puts up good numbers. They're going to have about 3 or 4 losses this year, USC. Book it now. After the bowl game,
3 or 4 losses this year.
That's correct. They still play Washington. They play Oregon. They play a lot of still top 25 teams that they're going to lose to.
They have the toughest schedule in college football this year. They do.
And they're going to have 3 or 4 losses at the end of the year.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. They have 1 right now. They're 6-1.
Okay, let's watch. They played that 5-2 Notre Dame squad affiliated with the ACC, that bad ACC.
They're not, first of all, they're not affiliated with the ACC. They're an independent. You're wrong.
No. I didn't say they're part of. They're affiliated with.
They're not affiliated.
Absolutely, they're affiliated with the ACC.
They're not. They are not affiliated. The football team is not affiliated with the ACC. They're an independent. They are not affiliated.
Has a contract with the ACC.
No, they have a contract with NBC. There's a difference.
No.
They have a contract with NBC.
They are not in any way affiliated with the ACC for football.
There are no conference.
For basketball, they're part of the ACC, not
They
football.
play 4+ ACC teams every year.
They are not affiliated with the ACC.
They are affiliated with the conference. You're wrong.
They They only got Notre
I
Dame
don't
in
follow
that
the
conference.
ACC and know the verbiage of it.
They only got Notre Dame in that conference, and Notre Dame said that we are not affiliated in any way, shape, or form with the football program with the ACC. Period.
In order for them and their sports teams,
Not affiliated. No affiliation whatsoever.
You know what? Let's just watch the highlight. Let's look at USC, baby. Let's take a look here. Oh, Caleb Williams throws a pick. Grumpy, what happened there?
Right? What did he do there? Threw off the back foot, right?
This is not something a junior should be doing. A guy with a lot of
Oh,
experience.
that and the fact USC's offensive line was fucking miserable in that game, by the way.
They were able to run the ball, and their defense is not good. Their defense is not very good.
USC's offensive line was terrible in that game, though, as well.
Welcome to having a good defense. Look at this.
Ooh, look at that. Pressured immediately.
Oh, looky
Pressured
there.
immediately.
Here's the thing. This was a big game for Notre Dame coming off a loss. It's a rivalry game at
And a
home.
home game.
Are you saying this was not a big game for USC trying to make a national football
I think it was a big.
Look what happened to Oregon this weekend when they didn't play at home and they played against Washington. They ended up losing.
We're going to talk about that. No need to try to deflect their USC defenders.
It's not deflecting. Home field advantage plays a massive fucking part in sports, TJ.
You USC Trojan sycophants, sit down and stay in your lane.
I'm going to say that college athletics is the last true bastion of home field advantage.
Soccer.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm talking about American sports.
Okay, for American sports, yes. But absolutely. Didn't Pitt beat Louisville at home? Unbeaten Louisville? Yeah. Pittsburgh sucks ass.
Pouring down rain. Well, they had a quarterback change. These are all okay. Let's not distract here from the miserable play of USC.
Okay,
The freaking abominable play. Let's just get back to watching this real quick.
I think that the fact that this was a more of a must win the ball was deflected. The ball was deflected. It happens.
He gave the thumbs up. He's fine.
Yeah. The ball was deflected. But here's the thing. I think it was more of a must win for Notre Dame than it was for USC.
Look at them pummel it right down USC's throats.
Now, I have a question for you, Grump. Do you think back in the day, if this injury had happened, would they just told him to suck it up and get back out there?
Yeah. You're moving, you're playing.
That's like, have you seen the thing with the arena football? I don't remember who the guy was, but he said, I got two things for you. He said, am I standing? He said, do I have a pulse? And they're like, yes. He's like, is this not the Arena Football League? Yes.
And I'm playing. Look at this one. Oh, another one.
Okay, look at the amount of pressure that's on him immediately. Immediately, the pressure on him. Every quarterback makes mistakes. I mean, they're all over him in a second.
The offensive line for USC was miserable in that game. Terrible. They didn't block for shit.
Here's the thing, as I've mentioned before, you can eat the football every once in a while, right?
What, you think he's just going to drop back and take sacks, 15-yard sacks? Look at what down it was when he was making those throws. Look at what down it was.
Throw the football out of bounds, X.
Okay, if it's on third down and your team's down by 20 points, you got to try and score.
2nd and 10.
And remember, their defense wasn't stopping shit. Well, you didn't watch. Their defense couldn't stop shit the whole game. If Notre Dame gets the ball,
it wasn't their defense. It's because one individual on the team who touches the ball every play kept throwing interceptions and turning the ball away.
Their special teams gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown as well.
When did that happen? That happened at the end of the game when it was an 11-point game.
Okay, again, whenever Notre Dame touched the ball, they scored.
X over here. X and Grumpy trying to defend USC.
I don't think I was defending USC. I didn't defend them at all.
I'm just saying it's a home game for Notre Dame. Notre Dame was hyped up as shit after losing to Louisville. They had something to play for this week.
I mean, they didn't deserve to win yesterday. The other
Bills are going to lose tonight.
When they lose to Utah, what's the excuse then?
When what?
When they go ahead and lose to Utah, what's going to be the excuse then?
Is it a home game?
I think it actually is a home game this year. They lost last year to Utah.
If they beat Utah, I guess it's like, wow, home field advantage plays a huge part in sports. Oh my God.
I think it's so important in college athletics, the home field advantage. I still think it's really important.
Look at Washington beating Oregon.
Yeah.
Okay. Washington beat Oregon because Oregon's poor coaching decisions.
No. No, because guess what? If the kid for Washington earlier on in the game, number 25, makes the tackle on 3rd and 13, when they're in their own red zone, Washington comes down the field and they're up by 2 touchdowns for the remainder of the game.
Did you watch
beat the shit out of them.
Did you watch how many 4th downs they did not convert for Oregon?
Coach said
One
that
or
he believes
two?
in that. He's like, we go for it. We're a team that goes for it.
Well, hey, when you live by the sword, you occasionally die by the sword. It's the reason why going in at halftime, they said on 4th and goal from the 3-yard line, well, we're going to go ahead and try to throw the ball into the Zens. We're going to go ahead and try to throw the ball for touchdown instead of taking 3 guaranteed points on the road. Well, maybe those 3 guaranteed points would have helped because you lost by 3 and your kicker missed the last-second field goal to lose the game.
Any of those teams that go by the analytics, they're losers. The Atlanta Falcons today, they were trailing the Washington, formerly the Redskins, 24-10. They score a touchdown, which makes it 24-16. And this is with 11 minutes to go in the game, and they're going for 2 points.
Dumb.
And I'm like, why the hell are you doing that? They don't get the 2-point conversion. Now, it wound up that they couldn't get another touchdown. They got close twice, but they couldn't get a touchdown. But it's like, why are you going for 2 points? Two extra points, and the game is still tied. Why are you even trying that? It's just so dumb. Just stupid. You don't make it. It's like, well, what if they would have, but they didn't.
This is the kick right here in order to tie the game. Think about it. Oregon had the lead. They were driving down the field. They went for it on 4th down to turn it over, and Penix in Washington drives down 70 yards down the field in like 56 seconds to score a touchdown to take the lead. I mean, like, Oregon just found a way to lose. I mean, like, I cannot tell you how many times, right? Like, home field advantage, did it maybe matter in this game? Sure. But this
How
is
many turnovers did Penix have in that game also?
Penix, I don't think is good. He sucks.
He's got a noodle on too.
He sucks. He's the guy who just throws it up for grabs, and usually his athletes, his team, exploit mismatches.
Thank you very much. It's the fact that he is a good wide receiver core and a good tight end is to why that team is successful. It's not him.
Yeah, Penix, and I think Penix, sure.
He's got a noodle arm. Penix has a noodle arm.
Yes.
He's Noodles Jr. But
how do you miss that kick?
Yep. But let me ask you again.
I mean, you are right in the middle of the field. This is like, it's a 43-yard kick. You're a scholarship athlete, my friend. You got to kick that. You got to hit that through the uprights, buddy.
What do I always say about these games? Players win games. Coaches lose them by making dumb decisions. They do it all the time. I mean, I'm yelling at the TV today, watching the idiotic decisions by coaches time and time again.
Now, I will say this. I think Oregon can still make it in the college football playoffs if they win out. You look at their strength.
Washington is better than all these other teams. Washington plays defense too.
They're going to be facing Washington in the conference finals. Okay, if they win out,
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Okay, they as well have in the Pac-12 the 2 best teams play each other the same exact way it is in the Big 12, I believe. You got Washington State, number 14 Utah, unranked California, number 18 USC, unranked Arizona State, and number 12 ranked Oregon State.
They got a road to hoe as well.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I will say they're a good team. Colorado lost to Stanford on Friday night after having like a 20-something point lead.
29-0 lead.
Coach Prime is revolutionizing college football. Okay.
Yes. He's able to turn a certain victory into a defeat.
Okay. That's embarrassing. You're up 29-0. You find a way to lose the game. I mean, like, there was a lot of that this week. It was just like teams that shouldn't lose games found ways to lose them. How do you lose up 29-0 to Stanford?
It's very Stanford sucks.
They're awful. This is not the same. This is not the same Stanford. Christian McCaffrey Stanford. This is shitty Stanford. Ugh. Anyway.
I'm going to say one thing: the Bills are going to lose today.
Do you wonder if the Bills have a lag from coming back from overseas? I hate the overseas games.
Probably.
I hate them too because it screws up everything.
And now you have a night game. Now you have a night game to play too. You had a game at 8:30 in the morning, and then your next game is at 8:30 at night.
I don't like the afternoon games. I mean, let's see how.
You don't like the overseas games?
Yeah, the overseas games. I'm sorry. Yes, the overseas. I hate them. Besides the fact that they're at 9:00 in the morning, 9:30 in the morning, it's just crappy football. It's just crappy football. Sorry.
Yeah.
Seems like it's always dark over this too. It's never light. It's always like.
You know what I like watching at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Like
I like watching soccer. I like watching soccer and European football. I don't like watching American football overseas.
Yeah, me neither.
When the product looks like shit and it affects the teams, it affects your fantasy players too.
Very much so. Let's say you get a guy hurt or a guy who's a late scratch. If you're taking like a little beauty rest, you might not know that. You can't swap a guy out of your lineup and you're stuck with a 0.
Gotta set your alarms for 8 a.m.
Yeah.
X, what other comments do we have up here, man? Let's look at some more comments here.
Drew says, no effing shot the Giants are driving against the Bills. Is Buffalo in a coma or something? It could be that little jet lag from coming back. Joe C says, no, it was a penalty on Alan Lazard. It was a block from behind. Okay.
That was a while ago.
Drew says, speaking of nasty blocks, TJ, look up Craig Reynolds' block earlier that helped S.T. Brown get that TD.
I'll pull that up here.
Freeze warning says, weekly reminder that Jalen Daniels from LSU is a stud. How he's not a top 5 Heisman favorite right now beats me. He's up there with Penix, Bo Nix, Drake May, Dylan Gabriel, Ewers, and Caleb. Ewers and Caleb's stock is falling. Okay, again, it's what?
Ewers' stock is not full. Okay, freeze warning. Freeze warning. God, please stop. Bo Nix, you know what Bo Nix showed me? Bo Nix showed me that without a fantastic running game, he is just a quarterback that tries to dink and dunk the ball down the field, and that shit doesn't work. That's what Bo Nix showed me. Bo Nix out of that group right there, he may be the most game manager-esque quarterback in that group. That's what I think about Bo Nix. Penix, miserable.
I will say one thing, Georgia, depending on how bad Brock Bowers' injury, could be done this year. He is their offense.
They will lose a game before it happens.
I think so as well.
But let's see how far they fall. They're one of those teams that they want in there. They need to have an SEC team in there. So let's see what happens.
My question is, how is your stock falling, but Bo Nix stock is not falling?
This fan, right? I see an Auburn on there. Remember, Bo Nix used to play for Auburn. I'm going to say maybe there's a little bit of favoritism from this commenter towards Auburn.
All I want to say is that it's too early to say who the Heisman favorite is. It's just way too early. That's not decided until like the last week or two of the regular season, because a guy has a bad performance, all of a sudden he falls off. Guy comes on late, he makes some great performances, he moves up. It's just the way it is.
Quinn Ewers will win the Heisman. Quinn Ewers will win the Heisman.
It's too early. Next. Google says, TJ, is there a somewhat humorous item that the Jets tweeted tonight under the title, "You hate to see it"? Pull it up and let's discuss.
All righty. I'll get that pulled up. I want to first show Craig Reynolds here.
The
Rangers up 1-0.
Texas Rangers up 1-0.
Let's take a look here from Craig Reynolds.
3rd and long.
Yeah, this was crazy.
Oh, my God, the Jets. Oh, my God, the Giants. Holy shit, the Giants.
Needs to get to the 14
The
yard.
Giants will lose this game.
Craig Reynolds through the big block, and St. Brown works all the way downfield for the touchdown. What a block by Craig Reynolds. This is why they love that guy. You just talked about it, Moose. He puts his body in the way, and St. Brown did the rest for the score.
You got to have guys like Craig Reynolds on your team if you're going to win games. Just hustling downfield and gets the big block on Carlton Davis right there to get the corner turned by Amon-Ra St. Brown.
A good block.
Yep.
What an outstanding job.
You usually don't see wide receivers willing to do anything physical, so it's always refreshing to see that.
There was one player who do some physical blocks back in the day, and he played at the Boyden Bowl.
The Boyden Bowl.
Bobby Boucher, huh?
Okay.
Boucher.
The Giants today, they had 14 seconds left to go in the half. The ball's at the 3-yard line. No timeouts. 14 seconds left in the half. They run the ball. The offensive line breaks down. 3 guys start Barkley at the 1. They can't spike the ball. They go in with the 6-0 lead at half.
They're going to lose this game, is right.
Yes, they are. Absolutely, they are.
Damian Harris gave thumbs up apparently while he was exiting.
They did.
After taking a big hit. Well, you know what it makes me think of real quick? This is almost like an identical scene. Same exact Bills Stadium to where when DeMar Hamlin went down.
Yes, I thought the same thing.
I thought they were about to end the game. Like they did last
That's
year.
why I thought they're probably going to end this game. But what's the difference? He was able to lift his hands up. Okay, keep playing. We don't give a shit about you. I don't think they gave a shit about DeMar Hamlin last year.
No.
They had all the people were just starting to panic about him, and all of a sudden it's like
Public perception is more what they were.
Here's my thing, though. Why did they even cancel the game last year? You had the same shit that happens overseas in soccer. Christian Eriksen falls out. His heart stops on the field. He's pronounced dead on the field. Goes to the hospital, gets resuscitated and revived.
Well, no, they resuscitated
They didn't even stop the game.
Field. Just like DeMar Hamlin last year, they resuscitated both of them on the field.
He died. Well, he died multiple times. DeMar Hamlin did. Had to bring him back multiple times.
Yeah, but now with Christian Eriksen, he just died right on had cardiac arrest on the field, and they got him, back. I mean, thank good. I mean, talk about tremendous job by those medical people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you looked at that, it's like they were working him over. And I'm going to say one thing: you see the cameras, man, they let you watch that. It's like, oh man, that's powerful stuff right there.
Yep,
sure.
And it cost Denmark because they didn't qualify for World Cup because they wound up losing that game, and it cost them. That's tough. That's tough for a team to play through that. I have to admit that.
I'll pop up comments if you keep starring stuff up there too.
My thing is why in one sport do they stop playing the game, but in the other they don't?
It's the softies in the United States. That's why.
Drew L said, by the way, can I say one thing? Arthur Smith is an underrated bad coach. He lost Atlanta this game today.
100% agree. I think we just talked about it. We just talked about Arthur Smith.
We got here. Alexander says, Herbert freaking sucks. Oh, okay. Alexander.
That's unfair, Alexander. Come on now.
That's just not true.
If Herbert was in Miami system, he'd be just as successful as Tua.
He's more successful than Tua. Are we serious?
But Miami is not an unsuccessful team. They are successful with him because of the offense. Herbert has a much better arm, light years better. I mean,
he's played 4 games. He's got a 71% completion percentage, 1,100 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick. The Raiders, the miserable Vikings, the Titans, who are shitty, and then the Dolphins. A harder strength of schedule, better numbers. Let's see as the year go by. Justin Herbert's a better quarterback consistently than Tua Tagovailoa.
I think that Justin Herbert's a better quarterback than Tua.
Absolutely. Alexander Grumpy.
So is that Tua's fault? And you play what's on your schedule? No, that's not what I said. What I'm saying is all the Dolphins fans who are thinking that, Tua's MVP. Let's see what happens when he plays good teams. You have to beat whoever's in front of you. But to say this guy's an MVP, how did he look against Buffalo? Not too good.
Pretty pedestrian.
How's he going to look against Philadelphia? We're going to find out next week. How is he going to look when you're playing teams in weather at the end of the year? Historically, he's not been great in that situation.
Yep.
I'm just saying, just like I said, I think Miami's a really good team. I think they're going to make playoffs. Their offense is brilliantly designed and schemed up, where even a guy like Tua, who has a less than stellar arm, can make that work. I mean, that's about as fair as I can be, right?
Yes, and I will say this here too that I think is worth saying. It's not Tua's fault who he plays. It's the fans' overreaction that we're calling attention to. The fans and the people saying Tua for MVP, the Dolphins are the best team in the NFL. I'm just saying let's pump the brakes a little bit. Tua is what he's always been. They've exploited some really shitty teams and they feasted on some bad teams with shitty defenses. Let's just wait.
Yep.
Goon Grump.
Today, Rodgers was on the field, tap dancing freely, tossing the pigskin. Will he return sooner than later? Is Grumpy as ferocious as an alligator? We already talked about that, Goon Goon. Thank you.
Freeze warning, Grump.
Grumpy, right about KC's defense. They're top 10 this year thus far. Amazon Crew was discussing that Thursday. Apparently, Mahomes has never had a top 10 defense. Well, guess what? They don't have a top 10 offense this year, though. So just something to think about. Their offense is not that good. Patrick Mahomes is, I think he's a good quarterback, but you'll see what happens when you don't have the weapons. Only one quarterback ever in the history of game was able to be a champion without good weapons. It's TB12, the people's champion.
Here you go. Next comment.
Joseph C. says Rodgers believes he's coming back this year, but no way he does. Not at 39 years old. That might not be the case. I'm surprised he's back and no crutch, no walking boot, no nothing, and he's able to move and throw the ball. It's not the same as running around, of course, but the fact that he's already this high in his rehab, maybe he can. We'll find out.
I think Rodgers comes back. He's already moving around out there on a pee with a boot. I agree. He'll be back.
Trevor Lawrence, you didn't mention earlier, Trevor Lawrence also left the game in the fourth quarter with a knee injury, and then Ryan Tannehill in the third quarter with an ankle.
Yeah, I told you Tannehill got hurt.
And Baker Mayfield went off with a left hand injury in the fourth quarter as well.
A lot of starting QBs out.
They seem like a thumb injury, ankle injury, arm injury. These seem like maybe this is turf related injuries. Maybe I'm not touching that. I'm just playing.
Yeah, he did.
It says TJ has no room to talk about a quarterback when you have freaking Daniel Jones as your quarterback.
Daniel Jones sucks.
Let me put this one up real quick. This is crazy.
So apparently Daboll actually called a pass play, but Tyrod Taylor audibled it for a run play. That's how that debacle at the end of the half happened.
Jesus.
I did see him yelling at Taylor a little bit. Yeah. They had a disagreement, and he's like, dude, what do you do? Because it was a terrible audible. If you audible to that call where Saquon had to fight three guys to try to gain 3 yards, it wasn't working.
Yikes. Yikes. Now, here's the one here. This is what Trevor Lawrence got hurt on right here. Oof.
Foot gets,
his knee.
They have regular grass down there in Jacksonville, don't they?
Yeah, it's called getting rolled up on. That shit happens regardless whether you're playing on turf or regular grass, asphalt, anything. If you get rolled up on, you're going to hurt your leg.
He was giving interviews at the end of the game. He'll be fine. I think he's just a little banged up. He was walking off too under his own power. He was walking fine there. I'm not worried about Trevor Lawrence. He just got a little banged up. That's all. And then D-Cut Grump.
9-8. The goldfish will finish. I disagree. I think they'll be better than 9-8. They're 5-1 now. I mean, talk about a total collapse. I don't see that happening. Alexander says the Jets have a better offense than the Jets. Well, that's not even debatable. Yes, but the Jets have a better defense. And those games are usually they split. Every year they seem to split. So you guys don't think that the Dolphins have something to prove as well? I don't even know what that question.
I think he's talking about how the Eagles. I was saying that the Eagles have something to prove after losing to the Jets this week. When they'll play Miami next week.
I think it means a little bit more for the Eagles, where it's like we just lost to a.
That's what I'm saying, as opposed to Miami, who just put a butt whooping on the shitty Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, we just lost to a shitty team.
And think about it. They went down 14-0 to Carolina today.
Yep.
And they looked like dog shit early. You can't come out against a good team and go down that amount of score and expect to come back every week. It's hard. It's really hard.
Drew L., grumpy old man.
Stephon Diggs might have just had the most egregious false start I've ever seen.
It was pretty bad.
No, it was not as egregious as the false start by Robin Williams in the movie The Best of Times. That was without a doubt the most egregious false start penalty ever. It was in the game against Taft. They replayed the game, Taft High School against Bakersfield, and he gets into the game, and the first snap, he's 30 yards down the field, and it's I'm open. And like everybody's laughing. It's brutal. His wife even, oh no. Ooh. When the wife who hates football does that, it's like, how embarrassing.
I'm trying to find that exact clip, Grumpy, but
it is fun. That is talk about.
Just type in on YouTube, Best of Times offside.
Yeah, best of time. Yeah, come on. X knows what to do.
Okay, it's not as easy as that, X. I've already done that. It didn't pull as nicely as I would like it to. So let's look.
Thought he was still in jail.
He's on parole.
Parole.
On 4, right left.
It was the
He's
first.
got a pretty white uniform there.
What happened to your glasses? You cast with a friendly ghost. You see that? You see that?
Oh, yeah, I can see you, Dr. Death. You better watch out, Dr. Death. I'm too damn fast for a Caucasian.
Is that illegal contact?
I thought I broke your back last time.
More medicine, Dr. Death.
Is that holding? Poor Kurt Russell takes a beating in this game. They're not using artificial turf here either.
Jack, give me your best move.
Your best move.
Death, humiliation, and pain. You ready for this, Dundee?
Come and get me, sucker.
It's not that. It's the first play of the game is where he does the offsides thing. Tony Cheese said, someone said Aaron Rodgers technically had 5 snaps with the Jets.
The snap of his Achilles.
Oh, all right. That's pretty funny. I like it.
That's a good one.
Alexander says, actually, Grump, that guy is on Instagram. Okay, he was on the field. It was, I guarantee it was a coordinated effort.
That's literally what he's saying. He works with Tyreek Hill. He's an Instagram influencer who works with Tyreek Hill.
Okay. Like I said, it was a setup. It was a setup. That's why I said it was a setup. Drew says, looks LOL good to a pun X.
And oh my God, Tyrod, what the F is going on? The dude is balling. Oh God.
Until the last play of the game of the half.
X.
Tony Cheese says TJ's takes are basically strength of schedule and the O-line on any team can't do anything wrong. Haters gonna keep hating. I think this looks like Alexander actually. Says TJ again. You play what's on the schedule. That narrative that they haven't played anyone is dumb. Well, they played one good team, which was Buffalo, and they got shit canned.
Hold on. That narrative is not dumb. That narrative is accurate. It's verifiably accurate. They have not beaten a team with more than a 500 record. You don't play anybody but your actual strength of schedule and who's on there. But they haven't beaten anybody of significant consequence. They haven't.
They played one good team, I would say, which is Buffalo, and they got destroyed.
Yes, absolutely undressed. And you know what? If we see this again, and that was a fully healthy team there for the Dolphins, a healthy Waddle, a healthy wow, Tyreek Hill didn't go off for 100+ receiving yards against the Bills defense. Wow, it's almost like when you've got a good defense with a team that can cover, Tyreek Hill is not 100% open. Tua can't get him the ball. Yeah. Joseph Seagrump.
The Jets defense will keep them in most games. Today, they won without Sauce and DJ Reed.
Yep. Haters gonna keep hating. X, I'll take. Okay,
I'll hit him.
TJ said, TJ, put together a good quarterback, please. I want to hear your explanation of a good quarterback. Actually, I can take that. It's Tom Brady. I'm sorry. That's the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm sorry. My bad. And he wanted to go to Miami. Wanted to go there. But the Dolphins
also wanted to go to San Francisco. They didn't want him either.
The Dolphins were too dumb to sign him.
San Francisco actually, I think, got lucky there. They brought Brock Purdy, who was better than Tom Brady for that season.
We saw how Brock Purdy did without his all-star offense.
Not too good.
Without his Pro Bowl offense out there.
Yeah. Joseph C. said the Lions had the best offensive line in the league. Good for them. Drew adds, TJ, this is where you say a good quarterback isn't Tua.
There it is. That's my answer.
There are a lot of good quarterbacks. And I think Tua is a good quarterback. I just think he has some physical limitations that are going to stop him from being a great quarterback and probably hurt Miami in December. I think it's a problem. Alexander once again adds, Grumpy, he went 17 for 30 with 234 yards and 2 touchdowns and interception in the snow game. Did they win? Did they win?
They lost.
I mean,
he threw a whole bunch of garbage yards.
Okay. I don't remember the game, to be honest with you. Drew said, by the way, I'm not going to lie, Sam Howell is underrated. He's going to be nasty if the Commanders fix their offensive line.
Sam Howell blows.
He's better than Tua. Haters gonna hate. Once again, Alexander says, this is freaking ridiculous, TJ. This really, you have dropped to a new low that you have to find games from last year when you don't realize that Buffalo game was in the freaking snow. They lost that game.
They lost the game. They lost the game against Buffalo. They lost the last 4 games of this. The last 4 games that Tua played, they lost. It started getting a little. December starts getting a little cold outside, and Tua has his little arm. He doesn't throw as far anymore. Those 45-yard heave hose crow hops into the football only go 42 yards, and that start resulting in picks.
When it's just a fact that it's harder to throw the ball in the winter than it is when it's warmer out. It's just facts.
Yes.
Joseph C. says that wide zone offense with a million weapons is so QB friendly, hence why Purdy and Hurts play well despite not having arm talent. Then you could throw 2 in there too.
Yep.
Alexander says you don't need a strong arm to succeed. Breeze, Montana, and Ryan say it otherwise. Okay. Drew Brees had a pretty good arm. He absolutely did. Montana's arm was good enough, predicated on a short passing game. And Matt Ryan had a good arm. Tua does not have a good arm, Alexander. I try to be on your side here.
Montana and Drew Brees, I was about to say, they both have good arms. And even Matt Ryan threw in a dome.
Matt Ryan had a really good arm.
Yes.
He had a really good arm. He doesn't have bad arm. Joseph C. says, makes sense the Giants are playing well against the Bills because Daboll knows the Bills' offense. True. James Farrell said Bill O'Brien should have stayed at Penn State. He should have stayed in Houston. JP says Austin Matthews, 2 games, 6 goals. He's off to a hot start. That's for certain.
Yep. He's I think the first. He's one of I think 4 or 5 players in the history of the game to start off the season with back-to-back hat tricks.
Wow.
Drew says, and there it is. TJ already failed his challenge. I don't know which challenge it is, but
that
I'm
was
sure
the challenge about TJ not talking crap about the Giants.
Oh, okay. I'm sure he failed many challenges.
True. Goon Grump.
I guess the G-men would be doing the Jets a solid if they find a way to spank the Bills tonight. Comprende?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alexander says TJ and Grump and X's narratives. If the Dolphins beat the Eagles next week, the Eagles are not that good. They're not one of the elite teams. They're average. I think, but we've been talking about TJ for particular.
The Eagles are not a very good team. I've talked about this.
I think they're a good team. They struggle with the deep passing game because of their safety issues.
I don't think they're anywhere near as good as they were last year. That's what I say.
That's
offensively,
true.
I think they're worse this year than last year. I think defensively, they're still a really damn good team, but they've got some injury issues.
People know what they do on offense now.
We've been singing that for a while. I thought last year the record for the Eagles was like, yeah, okay. They played some really shit. They benefited from playing in a real shit division.
Their lines are – that's the strength of their team is their offensive and defensive lines.
Here's the thing. Just like I said with the Bills they're bona fide ballers. And you remember what I said before they played the Bills? I said, if they beat the Bills, my tenure on the subject will change. And they got shit canned by the Bills, just like we knew they would. So
the next testing is the Eagles.
The next measuring stick.
Right. And then you'll beat the Patriots, and then you play Kansas City. I mean, like I said, you'll find out more about the
overseas.
Right. But you'll find out more about the Dolphins in the next 3 weeks.
Yes. You should. It's an automatic victory. You just pretty much go in, punch your ticket, automatic victory against the Patriots. It's going to be a tough game up in Philly, playing at Philly. But see, right, they're playing Philly in October. It's not cold outside there in Philly in October.
Right.
It's different if they were playing in December in Philly when you're looking at freaking the temperatures in the teens.
They don't
in windy weather.
They're going to have home field advantage.
Yes,
I feel.
I hope the Dolphins. I hope Tua Tagovailoa throws for 800 touchdowns every game. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, they don't have that many plays, but thanks, Alex. Here's the thing. They're going to have home field advantage because if they have to go to Buffalo or Kansas City or Cincinnati or any of those cold weather teams, they're going to struggle.
Yes.
It's not just because it's Miami. It's any of those wide open offenses where, it's okay. Hey, we're going to run this pattern, the deep crossing field. The field if the fields aren't perfect for them, they struggle. They struggle. It's all about timing and, hitting the wide open receiver. It's just more difficult. That's all.
Yep.
Drew says, TJ and Grumpy, you just did an ASMR segment just now?
When you were tapping on your
You're
microphone.
doing your
and
little Bill
chest.
Belichick there, Grump.
Oh, okay.
Goon.
Grumpy, I'm surprised that you're surprised that Bill B is a nefarious scumbag. He has been for decades. No, he's always been curmudgeon-y, but he can be a bit of a sore loser. I will say that.
You can get away with that when you're winning games.
You can't when you're losing.
Inexcusable when your team is losing and getting their asses whooped. When you're winning games and you're like, oh, we occasionally lose one, it makes you look like a sore sport. When you're losing every game and you have no sort of degree of no humble.
You can't. I remember the Super Bowl they lost when they were undefeated. He left before the end of the game. He didn't shake Coughlin's hand. He left with the second left. He left the field. I mean, come on, man.
He's a sore loser.
And, he loses to Vrabel. He's fine if he wins. If he wins, he's got no problem hanging out. If you want to do a blow-by and everybody win or lose, that's one thing. When you lose, particularly the guys that you've worked with for years and do a blow-by on them, man, I think that's a bad look. Always felt that way. Drew says, oh, TJ, by the way, I forgot to mention Andy Francis called me a casual on that Dobson play, saying, I don't know how the sport works. I just let the Lamanites' anger marinate. Make them miserable is a win.
Yeah, I pointed out that, we'll see. I didn't even have a chance to look. I'm sure I got a response back from him, but I had to retweet him. I'm like, no. I'm like, come on. This is not a Dobson issue. This is a Pellick mistake. James F. says here, thoughts on the Islanders game on Tuesday?
They should win against Arizona, but Arizona is better than they were. They played the Devils really tough. They're a team that can skate now. I was impressed by them the other night.
Yep. Goon Grump.
Grumpy, back in the 70s on Long Island, was it more fun for you to go to the midnight viewings of Rocky Horror or Song Remains the Same? Did the ushers know you by name? They did not know us by name. They were both fun, but Rocky Horror was more fun because everyone was kind of into it, throwing the, squirting the water, throwing the rice, the toast, all that stuff.
It was an interactive movie, TJ.
Yeah, it was.
What the hell are you talking about?
It would prompt you with stuff to do at the bottom, and you would do it like throw waffles, and you'd throw waffles in the.
No, they didn't have to prompt you. You just knew because it was a midnight showing. It was every week they showed it. And, you've been there enough. Everyone just kind of did it. They knew what to do at what point in the movie. And Song Remains the Same was great. I took the warden to see that. She didn't like it. It was about music, TJ. Song Remains the Same? You know who was in that movie? What musical group?
No.
Led Zeppelin. Thanks for playing.
All right.
Alexander says, Grump, did you know that Bailey Zappi hasn't lost any of his starts? He's a shitty quarterback, Alexander. Doesn't matter. Drew says, Grumpy, control your lust. Must be talking about the recently dead Suzanne Summers. Drew also says, Notre Dame, baby, USC and their quarterback who paints his nails got embarrassed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
James says, oh my God, another Bills player being caught on the field feels like last year's incident. It did. That's the first thing I thought. Then Drew adds, Buffalo has to have the curse or something. No shot that happens twice, and both times in their own stadium. Wasn't it in Cincinnati?
No, it was in Buffalo.
Was it last year? Was last year
in Buffalo? It was a home game for Buffalo. It was a home game for Buffalo.
Some voodoo shit's going on. Freeze warning says, TJ, pretty sure Oregon was 0-4 on fourth down. Neutral site game or game in Eugene. Oregon wins.
I don't know. No, they didn't go 0-4 on fourth down. They did definitely convert one fourth down, or maybe two of them. It was just dumb. Just too many fourth down conversions. I think they were like 2 for 4, 2 for 5. I don't know. I could pull it up.
I don't know what they were. James Farrell says, guys, tell me how Oklahoma beats or best Texas last week. They went from 12 to 5th in the standings. This is a joke. This is why I hate this system in the rankings. Okay. Again, with the rankings, it's early to say who's going to be where. It's not until they come out with the aggregate, the college bowl thing, that you're going to find out who's who. Oklahoma deserves to be in the top 5. They beat a really good, I mean, a really good Texas team.
Texas is damn good.
If Oklahoma didn't start the year being unranked or ranked very, very low, they're undefeated too. Kudos to Oklahoma. Venables has turned that team around in 1 year. And last year, they struggled last year. They lost a lot of guys who were on their team who went out to USC.
15 starters.
And you know what? It took him a year. But what does he specialize in? Defense. That's what he was in Clemson. He was their defensive coordinator. So that team is built around defense. And Gabriel Dillon is a good quarterback. He is. Go OU. Boomer Sooner, baby.
Boomer, baby.
Drew says, it's so great to hear how incompetent the Falcons coach is from football fans now. Arthur Smith sucks. He doesn't even use his talent properly. If he used Bijan more, he wins this game easily. Yeah, I didn't understand his usage of Bijan Robinson. It was nice to see get Kyle Pitts involved because he's got talent and Drake London, but they need a quarterback. I'm not sold on Desmond Ridder.
The Oregon, they went 0 for 3 on fourth downs. For whatever reason, I thought they converted a fourth down conversion, but I guess they didn't. And all three of them cost them.
This is an attack on TJ. This is just a flat-out attack on him. Freeze warning says, TJ, don't act like Pitt's second-string quarterback was the difference in their win against Louisville. Ha ha! He posted very similar numbers the Phil does.
The Phil Dracovic.
Oh, okay. 12 for 26, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pitt's D forced 3 turnovers.
It was a torrential downpour of rain. Were you expecting somebody to pass for like 400 or 500? You're playing in Pittsburgh in rainy weather. We weren't playing in nice and sunny and 85 out there in Miami. They were playing in Pittsburgh where the weather was rainy and cold. So, your first-time quarterback, first start of his career, probably not going to throw for 300-400 yards. It's the reason why the quarterback from Louisville, who's been dismantling defenses left and right, threw 2 interceptions and a fumble. He played like shit because it was rainy, and we got lucky.
Okay.
University of Pittsburgh.
X. Do you notice how TJ has excuses for his excuses even when he's got this certain team he likes?
No, what do you mean? They won.
I mean, I think he makes a good point, though. The fact that
it's
weather absolutely
fucking pouring rain.
I mean, how many guys do you see when it's torrential downpour or it's snowing heavy? You see throw for like 500 yards or 400
When
yards.
it was pouring rain and snowing in New England when they played the Buffalo Bills. Do you remember when Mac Jones didn't throw but like 3 attempts and they won the football game?
I remember Tom Brady throwing 6 touchdown passes in a driving snowstorm against the Oilers back in the day.
The Oilers, Grumpy. That's how far we're going back?
People's champion. He does it all the time. Freeze warning says, oh boy, here we go. Louisville had 444 total yards to Shit's 288. They won the turnover battle. They won the game. That's true. You win the turnover battle, very often you win the game. That's fair.
When it's raining, your quarterback makes bad decisions and throws interceptions.
Next.
You're going to lose football games.
Next. Gungun says, let's hear a hot take from all 3 of you bold bastards. Do the Jets make the playoffs this year, or will it be one big schmear?
What's the record now?
3-3.
Yes, they will make the postseason as a wild card. And I think they play Miami in the first round, and they knock Miami right off.
If Rodgers comes back,
God,
Rodgers is walking around throwing the football. He think about it. They're at week 6. They have 11. They got 12 more weeks. I'm sorry, because they've got the bye week. They have 12 more weeks until the postseason.
I'm pretty sure Rodgers doesn't need his feet at all when he plays football because he's going to be so high. He's just be levitating off the ground to throw.
They've got 3 months.
So
from walking to being able to be out.
I think they can make it if Rodgers comes back.
Okay, so TJ, you think they're making the playoffs? X, you think they're making the playoffs?
If Rodgers comes back, yes.
Oh, okay, he's not coming back until the end of the year. They're going to have to do it with Zach Wilson. Yes or no for you?
Yes.
Depends how many MILFs are in the game.
No. Now, he threw a pass today, Zach Wilson. I'm like, he rolled out and he throws a bullet. Like, it was right. I'm like, and
he was aiming for him.
Like, what the hell is he throwing? I said, he saw a MILF in the first row.
Yep.
I mean, because it was a rocket.
It was bad.
I was like,
holy shit, who is he targeting?
I mean, it was the MILF in like row section 102. I don't think the Jets make the playoffs this year.
It just makes me think if Aaron Rodgers stayed healthy, that team was going to make the postseason and be a legitimate contender, no doubt.
I just think it's too hard to win games with defense only in the NFL. Just too hard.
You can do it.
I think it's too. I don't see them doing it. I think
One
they're
thing I
gonna
will say, the
split with
Jets have played
Miami.
a lot of difficult opponents so far.
They lost to New England. Think about that. They lost the game to New England that I don't care who your quarterback is, you should have beat them.
True.
I just don't don't even know what their schedule
When was that
is.
New England game?
Second week of the season, right?
So it was the game after Aaron Rodgers went out and they thought their season was over. Okay. So I guarantee you they'll have a much better game against New England the second time.
Can we pull up the Jets schedule real quick?
Yes. Next comment, please.
Oh, okay.
And Tua says, why Tua? Alexander, why the hell is he attacking me today? I've been nothing but nice to him. Says, and Grump, the NFL gives them the option to take the bye after the overseas game. So, no, I don't feel bad for that shitty Bills organization. They're a bunch of pussies. It's true they do give them that option, but I'm sure that they said, you know what, we want to wait for that bye later in the year.
They do not give the team the option.
They do. Yes.
No team takes it.
No, most teams take it after the bye.
You know what they should do? They should give them the option of whether or not they want to play in the shitty overseas games or whether they just want to play. Oh my God, fight breaking out. Woof.
Baltimore has said that they're going to skip. They're not going to take their bye next week.
I didn't know they gave them a chance to take the bye when they wanted to.
Yeah, they don't say when it is. They say
if you play an overseas game, they give you the chance.
You have the option. Yes. You have the option. If you want to take your bye after the overseas game, you can.
X, what are you doing?
Dude, there was crazy ass shit that just happened in this Bills-Giants game. Huge fight broke out.
Okay, cool. We can pop it up on screen here later. Let's focus up, huh?
They said
let's look at the
thumbs
Jets
up.
Let's look at the Jets schedule.
Let's look at the Jets schedule.
The Giants next week. That's a win.
I
They
think
will
they'll beat the Giants. Yes.
The Chargers.
That's tough.
Depends. They could beat them.
If the Chargers lose tomorrow night to the Cowboys, I think the Chargers season's done.
Crappolo's out for a while, so
I
let's
think
talk
they'll
about
beat
the
Oakland.
Chargers first.
Okay,
I think
so 3-3. Let's say 4-3. Let's say they lose to the Chargers. 4-4. They'll beat
Why
the
do you think
Raiders.
they're going to lose to the Chargers? I think Staley's the worst coach in the NFL.
They can't score. The Jets are not good offensively. It's a problem.
The Chargers defense is one of the worst defense in the NFL. Okay. The Raiders, they're bad.
Win.
Lost to the Bills.
Yes.
Probably lost to the Dolphins.
No, I'm picking them to win to beat them there. So what's the record now? So 4-3, 4-4, 5-4, 5-5, 6-5. Falcons, that's a win, 7-5. Texans win, 8-5. Dolphins lost, 8-6. Commanders win.
He's back. I think he's back by mid-December, late December.
Okay. 9-6.
Rodgers against Commanders, that's a win.
I
Browns
think they
win. Patriots win.
You know what? I'm going to say the Jets. I don't know. The offense is so bad. It's hard to say they're going to make the
care
playoffs.
less about the team struggling.
It is Grumpy. Couldn't care less about the team struggling.
You know what? For fun, let's say the Jets make the playoffs. Sure.
Woo! Jets make the playoffs, baby!
Let's get to some more comments there.
Come on, X.
I'll put them up. You keep starring, buddy.
So, TJ, you're basically saying that Bo Nix plays like Brady when he doesn't have his run game established. You did say Nix was a dink and dunk merchant. That was Brady's play style. Absolutely. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Brady could hit long passes.
Absolutely. Brady had a great
Bo Nix
arm.
occasionally does too. I don't think Bo Nix is a shitty quarterback.
I don't think Bo Nix is a shitty quarterback.
He's just like this is his 6th year playing college football, right?
I don't think he's a shitty quarterback. I don't know where you're getting that from. I think he's good.
I think he's okay.
I
think he benefits from having a really good run game.
When you're talking about NFL quarterbacks, I think he has a better chance than a lot of those guys. Freeze warning says
he's got a chance to be a game manager.
Freeze warning says now that's Alex, right? Isn't that Alex Monroe?
This is Al. Yeah.
Okay. Freeze warning, aka Al Monroe, says guess Texas fans forgot that Ewers just had 3 turnovers in the most recent game. That is how his stock is falling. Ewers isn't winning the Heisman. Likely won't even be in the top 3 in New York. Keep dreaming. See, it's too early to say that, Alex.
Because here's the thing. If they go ahead and win the rest of their games, they beat Oklahoma and make it to the college football playoffs, and he plays well, he will get in there. Because guess what? Caleb Williams blows. He ain't getting it. Penix blows. He's not getting it. Drake May blows. He's not getting it. You know, there's one quarterback that's going to win the Heisman.
Drake May is a guy. Drake May is going to be a pro. Honestly, I like him better than Caleb Williams. I do.
I don't think Caleb Williams says anything. I think he's miserable. He's going to be a bust in the NFL.
I don't think he's miserable. There's
He
something
is
about
going to be a bust in the NFL.
To me, there's something about his playing style that just doesn't make me feel good.
It's because he's small. He's a scrambly guy, and when he faces pressure, he acts like a true freshman running. Wow! And
He reminds me a little bit of Russell Wilson. That's what he reminds me.
Oh, Russell's a million times better than he was. Please.
Okay. Next.
Goon Grumpy says, while
Getting
getting
dressed earlier today, I made a bold fashion choice. My Grumpy's groupie shirt. Could this have caused a scene? No. You'd be legendary in your neighborhood.
Drew L. Grumpy.
And Brian Dayball had his first dumb moment of the season. Great clock management, Dayball.
We got here. Yep. I tell you. Haters Gonna Hate says, TJ, don't want to put up my meme. Hold on. I'll put it up here. James F. Grumpy.
I'm hearing Jimmy G will be out for a while. Is that really surprising to anyone? He's always hurt. He's always hurt. He's old school. He's OG to a Tagovailoa.
Next comment there, Drew. Next comment's from Drew there, X.
Well, let's put up this thing. Now, who is this?
Miami Dolphins.
Bed team in the NFL.
I don't know what that means. Maybe the best team in the NFL?
Maybe they sleep.
Hate us because they ain't us. Exactly. They hate us because they ain't us. That's a great saying, okay? Hate us because they ain't us.
Okay, do we need to just pull back up the strength of the schedule and do a little addition and subtraction? I feel like we've got to. Let's put this back up. Nice comment there, and I'll do a little bit of adding. I'll break out the calculator for this one.
Drew says the Chiefs might not have a top 10 defense, but they have a top 10 cheerleading duo in Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes.
Oh, Brittany Mahomes.
No. She's not the top dog anymore.
No, she's not.
Grumpy, who was more sensitive a child, TJ or Son X? Examples will be appreciated. I'm not giving you examples, but Son X was more sensitive. Okay. TJ just a big dumb animal, kind of like that.
Yeah, okay.
Drew says X shaking his head at TJ's incompetence thanks to TJ's tyrant-like behavior. He is a tyrant. TJ's a tyrant. Kumu says Travis Kelce attended the Jets game today incognito. No lie. I'd never bullshit a bullshitter. Rangers up 2-0 in the American League Championship Series against the Houston Astros. Goddamn. Alexander says they didn't lose because of Tua. They were up, but the defense let Allen run right down the field.
Okay, I've done the math. I have done the math, ladies and gentlemen. It's even worse than what you could imagine. I've done the math, and it doesn't look good for the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins, if the Giants lose tonight, that's the key, right? If the Giants lose, maybe they beat the Bills. If the Giants lose tonight, the Miami Dolphins will have beaten teams with a cumulative record of 5-23. 5-23. That's what we're talking about. 2-2 Chargers, 1-5 Patriots, 1-5 Broncos, 1-5 Giants, 0-6 Panthers. 5-23. And hell, let's say we give the Giants the benefit of the doubt in the win tonight. It's 6-22. The Dolphins have played absolutely no one. Absolutely no talented teams.
It's not true. They played Buffalo and they got shit canned by them. So they did play a good team.
Hey, they lost to a team maybe that's 3-3. I don't know what's better. A 6-22 record for the teams they've beaten and losing to a 3-3 average team. The Dolphins. The fucking Dolphins. Anyway, Goon says, do you think that Super Bowl collapse still haunts Matt Ryan in the middle of the night? Yes, it does.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know if you've seen it, but the telecaster or broadcaster with him, he's like, that's like being up 28-3 and losing a halftime lead on it or something like that. And you could see Matt Ryan's face, like he got pissed off at that legitimately. It's just, I think it definitely still bothers him.
When you have a game like that where you it's totally in your control and you lose, you never forget it. Matter of fact, I think you remember the failures more than you remember the wins, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
The missed opportunities. I think that's worse than winning. It hurts more than winning makes you feel good. Let me just put it to you that way.
Yes.
Derek Monroe, now I think this is Alex's brother, says, as of today, the Chiefs are tied for the best record in the NFL. That is correct.
That's right. They are.
Drew says, I don't
Forgot
know.
to say fire emoji.
I'm not going that far. Drew said, I don't know Billy B, but I know B Billy, Bullet Bill.
Andrew L says here, as much as I like the Giants losing, I wouldn't mind them winning for the sake of the Jets.
It doesn't matter. Buffalo will make playoffs. Derek says that game was in Cincinnati last year. I thought it was.
Well, I thought it was in
because Lamar was kept at the University of Cincinnati Hospital. That's correct.
Yep, that's right. It's all come back. Good memory there, Derek. James F says here,
sorry, Grumpy.
Oklahoma
can't jump that many 7 spots. Best another team. That's way too many.
I'll read it if you're watching.
I remember Notre Dame was 5th in the country going into the College Bowl championship. They beat Houston in the Cotton Bowl. They moved from 5 to 1 because they were Notre Dame. And other teams who were ahead of them won as well. But they won the national championship. Joe Montana was quarterback. And they wound up winning the national championship. That Oklahoma win was huge. Remember, they got beat by Texas last year, I think 51-0. They got pulverized. They totally turned it around, and they're a really damn good team. They deserved to win against Texas last week, and they beat them. I mean, I know
they did not deserve to win against Texas,
but they deserved to beat Texas. They absolutely
did. Won. They didn't deserve it. That's fine.
They did.
TJ, ignore Alex. This is the mindset of a sports fan who's never seen a championship in his life.
That is true. No. That is true.
That's true. Rough. That's a rough one, though.
It's true. It's true. Oh, man.
I'll read it then. Would it be too controversial for me to state that I prefer Mark Sanchez over Tony Romo as a broadcaster?
I'm not a fan of Mark Sanchez as a broadcaster. I don't think Tony's that good either.
Fight at the Giants game, says James F. here. Drew L.
The two biggest embarrassments in baseball, the Braves and the Dodgers. Okay, I'm going to say the Dodgers, yes. The Braves, no. Philadelphia plays them extremely well.
The Braves were dominating, though, in the regular season. All their batters were going off.
Except against Philadelphia. Philadelphia was a tough opponent for them.
The Bills just took the lead over the Giants.
Well, the Bills just tried to dislocate Kayvon Thibodeau's ex's ankle. That's how the whole fight started. Leonard Williams is probably getting ejected.
Here's the fight that broke out.
And it will be Murray working inside for the first down. Right around the 3, it'll be first.
Okay, there's some scrapping going on down below there. Oh, my goodness.
And then Brown extends it out.
I don't. Okay.
Oh! Oh!
I think he tried to put him in Indian death lock.
Flags everywhere. And even more flags back behind at the 5-yard line.
I'm not sure he's trying to dislocate his ankle. I think that might be a little bit of hyperbole.
Maybe put a figure 4 on him or something like that. I don't know what's going on.
It can't be a third man in. That's a
guy is grabbing his leg there. He's twisting him a little bit. There's a lot of other stuff going on before that. That didn't start it. That's for certain.
That's correct. It doesn't matter. The Giants will find the Giants after that stupid decision at half will find a way to lose this game. Gungun says, Son X, for the upcoming Halloween episode, can you do the wrestler mask again for old time's sake?
I do have it. I might have to throw it on for a Halloween spectacular.
Can you don? It's like, can you don the wrestler's mask again?
There it is.
I am the Don. That's right.
Andrew L says, am I the only one that finds it kind of weird and morbid they've got Hamlin's name on the back of the ambulance? It's on Twitter to see.
Yeah, I think it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, stop. Just stop. I just stop. Just do your fucking job. All right, it's your job. Gungu says, what do you think Phil's fax is doing right now? Is he watching or is he puck dodging. I think no, he's not watching. I think what he's doing is ironing his shirts.
I think what he's doing is finding somebody to talk Islanders hockey with. I think that guy lives and breathes Islanders hockey.
I think he's ironing his shirts.
Goon. X.
What do you think, Phil? Oh, we already read that one. Okay, we're good.
Okay, here. Boy, TJ, that's your go-to strength of schedule. Yes, early on in the season, that's my go-to strength.
It's important. It's the same reason I say you don't know who's going to be good in college football till week 6 or 7, because they were playing St. Mary's Sisters of the Poor to start the year.
He says, TJ, when's the last time you pulled an all-nighter? Did the morning sun seem to shine brighter? It was last Sunday, probably. No, doesn't shine any brighter. It's actually still dark. Like 4 a.m., it's still dark. James F. said here, Son X, how can you leave that Islanders jersey on the couch like that? You should hang it up on the wall.
It's a blanket.
It's a blanket.
What's the matter with you? That's what he says here. Druel said, by the way, X, I just wanted to reiterate, thank you for being my fantasy mascot.
I do what I can.
I like this. Andrew says Phil is on the prowl for his next victim of the blue and orange brainwashing.
Whoa!
I like that. That bum Franklin needs a signature road win this week. He never will. Never happens. He's a good recruiter, shitty coach. But let's wrap things up here, guys. X Grumpy, what do you want to say before we wrap things up here today?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens, and even those who don't, from TJ, the grumpy old man, and Son X.
And Son X, what do you want to say here?
Just want to thank everybody for coming out and listening, participating in the podcast today. Had a great podcast, and we will see you guys next time.
All righty. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning into the show. We'll be live with you again Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good start to your Monday. Good start to the work week. Thanks so much, Grumpy. Thanks so much, Senex. We'll see you guys this upcoming Thursday, 9 p.m. Thanks again, guys.
My pleasure.